hello, and welcome to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of this ragtag group of heroes and adventurers.
Hi everybody, I'm Claire. I'm playing Mira, who's a Dragonborn sorcerer, half red dragon, half silver dragon. Originally was a bit of a politician, and now has joined the adventuring life, probably to a greater extent than she ever expected.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael. I'm playing Lockie Hobbs, a Warforged Artificer. Originally was part of a flying castle, but I've since left and resumed an adventure with my now friends.
Cool. Hey guys, I'm Jared, and I play the character of Jin. He is a level 6 Law Bard and a level 2 Hexblade Warlock. I'm currently an associate and ally of the Tempest Guild, and I am helping them in their goal of stopping the Queen of Dragons, Tiamat.
Hi, I'm Ali, and I'm playing Shana, the Moon Druid, who has previously been stuck in a gemstone for this past 600 years, but has since escaped.
Hi guys, I'm Matt, playing Yervith, the sneaky Wood Elf Ranger and Rogue, who, after a tragic incident in the jungle with his previous expedition, has now joined up with this lovely ragtag group of adventurers and is looking to see what happens next.
Well, hello, and welcome back to the Lost Archives, everybody. How you all doing? Hello! You'll see some friendly faces next to me. Say hello, friendly faces. Hey!
Hello!
Hello.
Now, there are some familiar friendly faces below me, and some not so familiar friendly faces to my left. Oh, my right, if you're watching this on a screen, which all of you are. To my right, friendly faces. Jacob, could you please say hello?
G'day, everybody. How are we?
I'm assuming they're very
Nice.
good. There's a bit of a lag between them answering, and if it's the podcast, there's a massive lag because they could be listening to this a year from now. So we'll hold out. We're going to assume they're okay and hope they get back to us with an okay. And Tom joining us as well.
G'day, everyone. My name's Tom. Don't know what else to say.
That about sums it up.
Part-time DM. That's about it.
Fantastic. We've got. You'll notice as of last week, Claire and Michael are away for a little bit of time over Christmas, so we have brought in two lovely guest characters. Now, I was looking for opportunities to bring these people in at some point, and to be able to bring these guys both in together, I'm really looking forward to, because they don't know it, but their playstyles are very synergistic. So I'm quite happy to have these two come in as a team, but not actually know they're a team. So this is going to be great. I'm looking forward to this.
Right.
Very flattering, Owen. Thank you.
No, absolutely. Thank you everybody who was with us last Wednesday for the last Dungeons and Dragons stream, the Tyranny of Dragons stream. For those of you who showed up last night for Avatar: The Last Airbender, I'm really sorry. Unfortunately, we had a few sick players. In fact, we had almost our entire cast sick on the same day.
Oh no.
So Avatar did not go ahead. I posted a tweet about an hour in advance because that's how much notice we had. So apologies everybody if you joined for Avatar. You're going to have to wait until Christmas is over and the new year has come before you get more Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I'm really sorry. You're going to have to wait for that fix, for that itch to be scratched. But the good news is we've got Dungeons and Dragons. We love Dungeons and Dragons. This is the original. This is the OG. This is what we're here for. So we better jump into our session. Now, before we introduce our two new characters, for those of you who are watching the stream or YouTube, you'll see that they've already got some character art up and you can already see their names. Don't spoil it for the podcast listeners. We're going to introduce them organically as the characters meet them in a little bit of time. Their character art will be cycling through the bottom left-hand corner in our art and fan art section. Just another reason to come and watch us if you can. And we've also got some new fan art done by the wonderful Ali, who goes by Sketch Thestral for her artist name. There are 3 more pieces of art that she has done for us, so we now have a total of, I think it's like 9 pieces of fan art cycling through now, which is nuts.
I need you guys in the community to start doing some fan art because it can't just be me in here.
Ali's carrying the team right now. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's my profile pictures for each of the characters. My pictures for each of the characters cycling through, but they don't count. That's not fan art. That's just art.
We need different art styles.
Yes, we need different art styles. Yeah, because I can only do sketchy digital. That's it. That's all I can manage. I can't even do straight lines. I can do sketchy digital. That's it. Alrighty.
I can do stick figures.
Oh, can we get some stick figures of the party?
I think we need some. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like we need some stick figure art.
I need you to draw them live for me too,
me.
if that's okay. If you could do that for me.
Yeah. In paint.
MS
Right
Paint.
in roll 20. Right in roll 20.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. We better get started with the recap. So, The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a group of mercenaries, explorers, and adventurers, has been working to thwart the machinations of a group known as the Order of the Dragon. This cult has been amassing power, wealth, and knowledge in an attempt to perform a ritual which would bring a dark draconic god, Tiamat, into the world. Our story has been following the escapades of some of the members of this group. Mira, Jin, Lockie, Yervith, and the newly transformed Shana, who are now journeying further north to try and track down an ancient artifact used to summon dragons to the Order's side. Having learned many dark secrets during their time in the Noonian jungle, the party have managed to capture Varum, one of the leaders of the cult, who sadly seems to have lost both his mask of power and his mind. Flying across the ocean towards the Sea of Moving Ice, a vast expanse of ever-shifting sea ice, the party have stopped for a rest in the floating city of Drifthaven, and have been shown the sights and sounds of the city by Batara, a half-orc sailor they encountered on the docks. They spent some time sharing stories in a tavern, travelled to the core of Drifthaven, a large 12-sided sapphire which provides protection and magic to the city, and spent much of their previous evening carousing with the locals, enjoying food, drink, and making merry. In particular, our bard Jin, in the disguise of Swabby Seabeard, a salty seaman, got really involved with the town's carousing and ended up getting a full orcish tattoo across his chest and crashing a barge into the town square of the town.
So good.
It was, he got sauced, I think is the word I would use here.
Oh man, I every constitution check was tops there.
Yeah, which we kind of explained as your character. The character you were taking on was so strong and you were so method in your acting that the alcohol just wasn't affecting you, but it was actually affecting you. So when you wake up the next morning, you were not happy. But yeah, so we ended off last session with a little bit of some interesting reveals. An old ally of the guilds, an old enemy who has now become an ally, Langdedrosa, a blue dragonborn, met up with Mira and actually managed to bump into Mira by complete chance, and revealed that he had now joined the Tempest Adventuring Guild under the guise of under the leadership of Azure, and had actually brought two new adventurers who had been recruited to the guild with him to the north, who had been sent out on a little scouting mission to try and locate where the cult might be heading next. The party know that these two, a Goliath and a Warforged, have sailed a little bit further north early in the morning, up towards the edge of the Sea of Moving Ice, towards the iceberg where the ship that the cult had used to attack the town of Drifthaven had actually been sunk. We learnt that Mira and Lockie would have to travel back to Oxenfurt and the guild headquarters for a couple of days to deal with some issues that were happening there. And so Langdedrosa took Mira and Lockie with him through a teleportation circle and disappeared, leaving Yervith, Jin, and Shana on the deck of the ship. Except Yervith, you're not there, because I need you to make me a carousing check, because despite the fact that you asked me to just have Yervith do some quiet stuff, Jin deliberately recruited you for heavy drinking, and unfortunately I'm going to need a carousing check if I could.
All right.
Yeah.
Peer pressure.
That's
33.
a 33.
Okay. 33. I'm pretty sure 33 is not too bad. Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry.
Wasn't that same as what we got?
No, you guys didn't get your 33. You had, let me find
35
it.
and 37, I think.
Yeah, you guys were close. 33, yeah.
33, 35, 37, nice.
That's very close.
You wake up in your bed. You awaken on an Air of Decency, your airship, in your room, with a whole lot of stuff piled up on top of you. As you sort of awaken, you realize there's a bit of a weight on you, and there's all these sort of cloth things over your face and body.
Okay.
And you feel a bit odd. You feel a bit off.
Okay.
You can hear the sounds of stomping from outside. There's this sort of as these heavy footsteps move around on the docks, and you think to yourself, some sort of giant is moving around out there. But after a while, that sound goes back down again. You hear the sounds of talking, a voice you don't recognize going, Mira, blah, 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 in the background. You can't quite make it out. You're still quite drunk at this stage. Before too long, the footsteps head back upstairs again. You hear the sound of laughing, and then there's this, and the deck of the ship shakes for a few seconds as this magical effect goes off of teleportation. And probably at that point, Yervith is like, all right, fuck this, I'm getting up.
Yeah. Just I guess I just move my way out of the bed and survey the scene. As
you get up, you find that you have a large Robin Hood green hat on. You have You have a massive rubber nose half hanging off your own nose, and a moustache attached to it. Your green cloak, your signature green cloak, is not on you. And there's a moment of panic as you look around before you see it bundled up in your backpack. But the cloak that you do have on, it looks to be this sort of ratty blue fisherman's sort of like poncho, essentially. And on the back, it has "bad to the bone" scrawled on it in some sort of white paint. And oh no, sorry, and there's one more thing. Your coin pouch feels considerably heavier than it did yesterday. And as you open it up, could I get you to roll me 2d6, please?
Yeah.
Hey, this is not bad. Okay.
Never. The DM giveth and the DM taketh away.
9.
9. You have 9 gold pieces that you did not have the previous night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I was definitely expecting those to be potatoes.
You have
9 potatoes in my gold sack.
9 potatoes. There you go. Yeah. Wow.
Still be richer by 9 potatoes. You can sell those for 2 copper each. Still more money than you had previously.
Amazing. Yeah. Cool. Yervith will probably want to put his classic green cloak on.
Yeah,
and
pull off this dirty fisherman's poncho that smells like tuna and sardines and salt.
Although he does take a fancy to the hat. He's like, yeah, I might keep this.
As a ranger.
Yeah, as a ranger.
This massive red like cockatoo plume coming out of it. It's
But
very...
is the hat working?
It is working.
Ooh.
Wait, are you taking all this stuff off, Matt?
I'm literally just taking the fisherman's like.
What about like all like
the fake nose and moustache are still hanging off him at this point.
Oh yeah, no, I take that off as well.
Oh, he takes it off.
I'd probably clock it in my mind like, oh.
I want to see this.
I think Jin would probably want to see this. So I'll like put it in my pocket.
Actually, no, hold on. I'm gonna say that I already know about it because I might have had a hand in it.
You were probably with me. Eh?
It probably was.
Yeah.
Jin, your memory of the previous night is very hazy, as is yours, Yervith, as is yours, Ali. Shana, sorry. There's bits coming and going, and there's a point, Jin, where you remember losing Yervith and you didn't see him again.
Okay. I'm gonna knock on. Okay, so I'm gonna notice that Yervith has been sleeping for a while. I'm not even sure if he's in his room, so I'm gonna like knock on his door, and halfway through him taking off the cloak, I'm just gonna open the door to see if he's actually home.
And then Yervith's naked underneath the blue poncho. No, I'm kidding.
I want to take in the visage.
Yervith looks
turn around and panic.
I can't let him get away with this.
What? Jin, what happened last night? Why am I wearing this? What's with this hat?
I just take in everything. And I'm like, huh. It rather suits you, actually. That nose looks... Huh. I sort of... I just start, like, doing, like, fake, like, photography, like things.
But you like minor illusion it? So it's like a minor illusion still?
Oh my god, yes. I'm gonna get my sketchbook out and just start vigorously sketching.
No, don't do this. I like quickly take my nose off.
It's already in my head.
Oh,
I'm already writing this down, and I'm just sketching the visage of you taking off this cloak.
Now,
Jin,
while you guys are doing that,
it's a good thing we're friends.
it's a good.
I wink.
Having met what, like
show Shana.
6 in-game days worth of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Like it's been months, but only 6 days in game.
Yeah. Fast friends.
They're fast friends.
It's a good thing we're acquaintances.
I wink at him, and then I go
we
show
casually
Shana
know each other.
I then go up top deck and show Shana the sketch.
Okay.
And I'm just like, he's literally wearing this right now. Go down and quickly have a look.
No, I take it off before he comes back. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Alright.
You have to probably keep the hat close by. But
Otherwise, Sean will steal it.
Oh no.
She's got a thing for stealing hats now.
Yeah,
did
she's
try to
developed
steal
a
my
thing
pirate
for
hat
stealing
so
hats.
long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her new thing is she's going to try and steal everyone's hat.
If you don't show any interest in it, she might not. But if you show any sign of interest in that hat, she will take it. Or she
She's
will
like,
try
oh,
to.
Alright.
You
Now.
want this? I want this.
Now we're gonna zoom out.
Put it up on his mantelpiece, and then he's gonna put his cloak on and go up deck.
Alrighty. Yep.
With his
As you guys
gear.
head up to the top deck, we're gonna jump over to Boldor and Kay Cee. You two arrived on a merchant ship with Langdadrosa, a blue dragonborn who has been acting as your mentor and guide as you've joined the Tempest Adventuring Guild. You both have come from the city of Oxenfurt, having arrived there. It's a very large metropolitan city on the western coast of Oceania, the large continent where most of our adventures have been taking place. You've spent a bit of time in Oxenfurt. You signed up with the Adventuring Guild after proving yourselves as junior novice adventurers and showing that you had a bit of skill, a bit of tenacity. You were given the option to choose from a number of different minor guilds that you could join and that you would continue your education and training and adventures with. Both of you, having gone through your novice training together, have spent quite a bit of time together. And both of you know the reputation of the Tempest Guild. You know that they are both involved, that the guild is involved in some pretty heavy stuff at the moment. They've been chasing down a group known as the Order of the Dragon. This cult-like group who used to be obsessed with bringing dragons back from the dead as Dracoliches, but recently have kind of changed focus a bit. And the rumours and talk amongst the other guild members is that they're trying to bring Tiamat, an evil betrayer god, back into the world, who's been sealed away for the last 500 years. Most of the other guilds are involved with... Exactly. Most of the other guilds, while they do serve important functions for both of you on your journey and trying to improve yourself and trying to learn and grow, and given your aptitude and your specializations, you feel a bit drawn towards this particular fight. This is something real. This isn't just signing up for some bounties, chasing down some bandits. This isn't just delving into an ancient tomb, defeating some Draugr, grabbing some random skeleton crap. This is real world, high stakes style adventuring. And so you present yourselves to the Tempest Adventuring Guild's headquarters, a large manor house building called the Night Hall in Oxenfurt. A large, sort of 6'2" man with a short cropped brown hair, dressed in these very yellow-orange robes, clearly some sort of monk by the way he stands, welcomes you into the guild. No real test, no real initiation. You are just welcomed with open arms. You get the sense that there haven't been many applicants in the last little bit towards this group. He introduces himself as Azur, as one of the heads of the guild, one of the founding members, and appoints you and assigns you to Langdodrosa, who's been with the guild for a couple of months, and Langdodrosa takes you under his wing. Your first task has been to try and track down a number of the other group members who have kind of gone a bit missing recently. The last known location was north of Nunia, this island far towards the northeast of Nostea. Rather than taking ship, which would have taken a lot longer, you were booked passage on an airship, and that airship has actually taken you over Nunia. You stopped off in a little fishing village right on the edge of Nunia, the jungles, asked around and were told, yeah, they'd gone into the jungle, but then they disappeared mysteriously, and their airship was seen heading further north towards the coastline. And so your journey continues on. You've been flying now in this airship for about 2 weeks. It has been quite a bit of time. Finally spotting some sort of land in civilization below the town of Drifthaven, your airship has landed and docked alongside another airship that has been quickly identified as an air of decency, and Langdodrosa has sent you both out early in the morning to go and do a bit of scouting out of the area, and then come back and basically meet up with the adventurers on this ship. Would you like to both describe your characters? Jacob, would you like to describe Kay Cee to us?
Kay Cee, Clunker Coil, is a large metal construct, robot-esque warforged, with a large shield affixed to the left arm, with a very, very strong-looking right hand. About 6'5"-ish, very tall, looking very strong, and the very emotionless face. Eyes, not a lot else going on. Very difficult to read.
Very difficult to breathe.
Read. My apologies.
I just enjoyed very difficult to breathe. I thought, yeah, it's hilarious. So you kind of identified some of the key features of Clunker Coil. And would you like to introduce your class as well? So you're playing
I'm playing a cleric of the Peace Domain.
A Peace Domain cleric, which
Okay, nice.
for those of you who know me know that I fucking love the Peace Domain cleric. I think it is really, really fun. I'm very stoked that Jacob has picked Peace Domain. There's a lot of fun things you can do with it. I think it's one of the underlooked and undervalued cleric subclasses. I think it's really cool. And Tom, would you like to introduce your character, Boldor?
Boulder. He is a Goliath standing 7'2" tall. similarly in a silent or tough manner as my other friend here. Quietly spoken, very tough. He's a barbarian path of the totem warrior, diving into aspect of the bear. So being tough
Nice.
and in people's faces is what he is about.
Do it.
He's short on words, not many syllables, but he definitely likes to face danger when it comes up. So speaks with sword rather than mouth.
Just quickly, I want to say one thing.
And I assume that's because he doesn't know many letters.
Yeah. Intelligence could be low. Who knows?
Is it less
We'll
than
let you
8?
figure that out.
It's not less than 8.
I've just realized you guys have chosen like 2 different playstyles, completely
Yeah.
different.
That's
One is
great.
all about peace, apparently, like the peace domain, like stopping conflicts and stuff. I take it. I don't know much about the class. And then the other one is all aggression, just smack things.
But they actually haven't, because he's taken the bear, which is all about protecting, basically taking
Yeah.
hits so others don't have
It's
to. So
true.
actually, they've actually both taken very similar style
But
protector
he
roles.
still wants to go and smack things, like hard. So this
Yes,
is gonna be
well,
fun.
where I could align is if they're going to attack, I'll let them attack me, and then he'll try and pacify. So I'll protect you guys, and we'll see
Yeah.
how it flows.
Yeah, so probably you two, being a bit of a team heading through the guild when you were first kind of getting into the scheme of things, you do have a very, like your fighting styles have become very synergistic, and you become quite a pair when fighting. Both of you being able to take a number of hits and deal damage back at the same time. Especially with Kay Cee being a peace domain and being able to kind of keep people's morale and health nice and topped up. You've probably developed a bit of a back-to-back style fighting style, where you do have a very synergistic method of fighting together and fighting as a team. So probably you have traditionally taken on quite defensive roles given your abilities, and the guild generally attracts rangers, rogues. There's not a huge number of barbarians or clerics, so you would have been in high demand for most of the activities where you're training together as defenders. But yeah, so you guys have been out early in the morning. You awoke at dawn, took a little canoe out and paddled towards the north, reaching the edge of the iceberg where a ship had apparently been sunk. After spending a bit of time sailing around, you were able to locate the wreck of the ship on the bottom of the ocean. However, not too many more signs or indications of someone passing. However, if you would like to roll a perception, investigation, or a survival check, I can give you guys some more information.
I would absolutely love
That
to
is
do
the wrong one.
What did you roll? Stealth? I gave like 3 options. Yeah. If you just clicked randomly, you had a higher chance of...
Go banana!
19 for survival, 22 for survival. Yeah, look, the two of you working together. This is straight back to basic training and just basic woodsmanship. Boldor, as a Goliath, as someone who's come from living out in the wilds, you're very proficient and very trained in tracking, especially in snow and ice. This is where your forte is. You track game across mountaintops back in your sietch in your village. This is nothing new for you. You are very proficient in this. And Kay Cee, you have a pretty decent databank that you've built up over time, probably from working with Boldor, talking to other rangers and scouts, and you have a pretty decent bank of knowledge that you can draw upon to be able to sort of spot things as well. And with your Warforged sight, which is slightly more sharp than a normal person's, you spot things that together you and Boldor are able to put together. There are a number of tracks leading further north across the iceberg, partially hidden by the snow. It looks like this is from a couple of days ago, probably a week ago even. The snow has fallen and covered these tracks, but the signs of them are still there underneath. It looks like they were weighed down, carrying heavy things. Any number of people between 20 to 30 humanoids passed through here. The tracks continue across a number of different icebergs. It looks like there's signs of scratch marks where maybe portable bridges were put down to bridge the gaps between ice. But because the ice is always moving, it doesn't take very long before the trail just stops dead at the edge of one of the icebergs and you can't see another marking point or section where the bridge might have connected to anymore. And it is also now starting to get to mid-morning. You know that you are supposed to rendezvous back with the rest of the team before the sun sort of reaches too high in the morning sky. So with that, you get back on your canoe and begin heading back towards Drifthaven. As you come into the harbour, it's only sort of an hour or two paddle from where you were. You dock the ship up, hand over the paddles back to the person, the half-orc gentleman who'd lent you his canoe, his fishing canoe. It paid in advance by Langdodrosa, takes the canoe back, no questions asked. Hope you had a lovely trip round the islands. You sort of look at him a bit like...
Did not get wet.
Affirmative.
Just gives you a thumbs up. And you begin heading down the docks towards an Air of Decency, this large airship with twin jets at the front and back that looks very impressive. As you arrive at the deck of the ship, you can see a number of people who you have had described to you. But for the benefits of your characters, could I get Shana, Jin, and Yervith to describe each of you in turn? Shana, could you describe your character, please?
So, it's unlikely that Shana has been described to these guys, because she's only been
No,
around
sorry,
for
Shana has
a
not been... Yes, sorry, that's a good
couple
point.
of days.
Good point.
But, Shana is a Yuan-Ti, so she's, top half looks very much like one of the people that were described to you. Previously was a red-headed druid, now looking really similar, but instead she's got snake eyes and her hair is stark blue-white. From about the waist downwards, she has a long-ass snake tail. Girls are Lamia. Lamia?
Lamia.
I'm never sure.
Lamia.
Lamia.
Lamia? Lamia. Lamia?
Lamia.
Anyway, my girl ain't got no legs. But, and she's probably got a big-ass sword at her hip, and is probably still trying to steal a hat or two at this point.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, sure. Why not? Jin, would you like to describe your character? I think you're currently... No, you had changed back to your Illyrian form, hadn't you? Yeah, so you look like Illyrian.
Yes, we'll just leave it at that. So as you approach and you look across at the deck, you see this like half-elf sort of standing on the deck wearing like these really ornate sort of like almost bordering on like noble clothes. It just looks, it looks very, very like schmeck. It was very nice. He doesn't carry any weaponry, actually, looking at him. He does have this curious tattoo on his hand, though, that looks sort of like... It's hard to see from where you are. But yeah, so
black
basically
blade,
just, like,
potentially.
Yeah. Slick back, like, sort of like auburn hair. Sharp features, half-elf, typical. But otherwise, yeah, just really comes across as sort of like elegant, I guess, almost in the way he moves. There's no... Like where you guys are, like where our friend Boldor is this huge hunk of like muscle. I'm a lot more like sort of lithe,
yeah,
a bit quick on the feet.
And I would say that both of you
probably
notice
a similar build to Yervith as well.
Yeah, both of you are quite lithe. You would notice as well on Jin's chest, on Illyrian's chest,
So
is the mark of the Illyrian. Yeah, is the mark of the Bards College.
Yes.
A lute contained within a wreath of laurels, and you know that the Bards College are a group of troubadours from Palin, the capital city. They often come out to Oxenfurt, perform. You would have seen them many times. The Bards College is very famous. It's a university for bards in capital city.
Yeah, you might have even seen Illyrian potentially. He would have been definitely in all that sort of stuff. But yeah, he has a bag sitting at his side and a pan flute.
Yeah, and Yervith.
So probably leaning up against the railing of the ship, sort of shooting greasies at Illyrian for the previous event of the morning.
Oh yeah, I still have my sketchbook out, by the way. I'm showing everyone.
Yeah,
you see this wood elf, quite tall, very lithe build, is probably very similar to Illyrian. Silvery, long hair, kind of down and tied up a little bit, kind of like a bit of like a Geralt Riviera style, that sort of like wild woodsman sort of look with his silvery hair. His skin complexion's probably slightly lighter than that of a wood elf, not super coppery, but quite light. And yeah, lots of facial scars, cuts and whatnot along in his face. Very speaks of a very weathered sort of like someone who's probably spent a lot of their time outdoors under the sun. He wears a very impressive cloak, which at the moment is probably shimmering kind of these weird colors of the ship, but also
It smells like crab.
Yeah, no, he's wearing his special stealthy cloak.
Yeah, so the wood your woodsman's cloak is now currently or it's a Cloak of the Wilds, isn't it? Sorry, it is currently taking on much more natural wood tones. Not looking like marked ship boards because it takes on natural features, but looking like tree trunk and bark and very much that natural wood color.
I imagine that because he's leaning up against the railing, it's probably like wooden and that brown sort of neutral tones of the wood, and then kind of upper body is probably more in line with like maybe whatever the other surroundings are.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it takes on sort of the ocean behind these sort of blue dappled with white ice every so often floating past. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, a very ornate elvish bow. And a quiver of arrows, and a very weathered sort of leather armor. He carries a ornate sword on one side and just a regular short sword on the other. Just his overall demeanor as someone who's probably spent a lot of time in the wilds. Very gruff, beaten, but very very lithe build. Sort of standing and looking really angry at Larian.
I'm
kind
not
of cheeky though.
I don't have my sketchbook out anymore. I literally am just like minor illusioning, like
the images
a snapshot of
Yervith,
I did the sketch, but now I have like a snapshot of you that was in that I'm just sort of like. So now it's not the sketch anymore. It's actually just you.
Yeah,
in like a snapshot of that.
But tiny. Yeah,
incredible.
I'm probably a snapshot from my memory.
I'm leaning up
just showing everyone.
With my arms crossed, just like.
Also on the deck of the ship, Boldor and Kay Cee is a figure you do recognize as well. You've had Jin Illyrian described to you. You've also had Yervith described to you as well. Shana looks a little bit familiar to some of the descriptions of a character, of a druid called Lyra, who you know was traveling with the party. The other person you recognize very instantly is a man called Leosin. He looks identical to Azure, but rather than being strong and muscly, he's very thin, very lithe, but exactly the same as Azure, dressed very similarly as well. And you know this is the twin brother of Azure. So Leosin and Azure are twin brothers, twin souls. Azure is back in Oxenford at the moment. Leosin's been leading this mission. And as you sort of start walking down the gangway towards the ship, Leosin, who's sort of not really paying too much attention to Jin, having seen the first image and gone like, yes, that's very nice, Jin, well done. And then as Jin keeps showing more and more of the images, being like, yes, that's very nice, Jin. Very, very good. Well done. Spots the two of you and goes, hello. Kay Cee and Boldor, correct? Sorry, Jin, not right now. And he puts a hand up, pushes through your minor illusion, Jin, and walks forward towards the gangway.
Affirmative.
Yes.
Greetings.
Oh man.
Greetings. Hello.
Major imaging.
Boldor, Kay Cee, wonderful to meet you. I'm assuming it's you two. I had descriptions sent through last night by Azure. Lovely to meet you. I'm Leosin.
I am a Boldor.
You are a Boldor. That is true.
That is a Boldor, and I am the Kay Cee.
The Kay Cee. Welcome aboard to an Air of Decency. Please come aboard. I'd like to introduce you to 3 adventurers who'll be traveling with you for the next little bit.
He does that. I stand up straight and walk on forwards, taking big strides.
Absolutely, Kay Cee follows along.
As you guys step on the ship, Leosin sort of guides you over and goes, Shana, Jin, Yervith, Boldor, Kay Cee.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
I would.
Oh, sorry, he would have introduced you as Illyrian. Sorry, yeah, he would have introduced you as Illyrian.
Yeah, Illyrian. Because actually, only a few people realize who I actually am as well.
So for Jacob and Tom's benefit, Jared is playing a changeling.
He's
don't
say that.
It doesn't. They can see from the character
art.
art.
For them to find out.
I've already briefed Jacob. I'm pretty sure, and they can see from the character art that you're a changeling really clearly.
All right.
The half wasn't a giveaway.
Nah, he actually fell into some white paint.
And now they call him the Jester.
Oh, that's funny.
Why so serious?
Why is there so much paint around on this deck? It just keeps happening to me every day.
We're in the middle of painting the ship.
Oh, I'm gonna read out a description from one of the chats of this situation around you. I fucking love this. Cynical. This is awesome.
Oh, what the fuck?
Timbers creaking counterpoint to the waves rocking the ship from side to side. The canvas sails flap and billow as the wind drives the ship forward. The taste of salt permeates every breath, while a damp smell wafts from the freshly swabbed deck. Dark wood, swollen.
Did he say swabbed?
Jesus Christ.
Swabby seabird.
Thank you for ruining that. Thank you, Cynical. That's really poetic. I love that. That's a
beautiful.
painting a beautiful image.
Beautiful.
Yeah, painting a beautiful image on minds. Yeah, so Kay Cee and Boldor, you are introduced to Jin, Shana, and Yervith.
I would do a intricate bow
Of course you would.
Yep. Well, hello there. Welcome to our ship. Not quite sure who you are, but Leos, and who are these people again? Sorry.
These
I
are
wasn't
the...
expecting a guess.
Yes, no. We talked about this literally not even 10 minutes
We
ago.
did?
Yes,
Oh, we did. Oh,
You weren't here,
Sorry.
Yervith. You've only just come on deck. Kay Cee, Boldor are the new recruits to the Tempest Adventuring Guild. They are new adventurers as part of our guild. This is their first mission. Very exciting, isn't it?
haha, I'm not the newest member anymore.
I'm not even a member. I'm just an associate.
Oh, really?
I don't even know what I am.
No. That's a work in progress.
These
John.
guys are probably
We'll get
more
there.
like.
Yeah, they're more
these
members
guys are
than
more
you
part of
guys
the
are.
guild than
Boldor,
Yeah.
it appears that we are the only members here.
Yeah.
Therefore, we outrank the others.
That's a fair point, actually.
I turn and look and say, "You might be onto something. Are we
And
sure
of-
these are them?"
Excellent. Weary.
Leosin sort of looks at both of you guys.
Thanks, guys, for coming to the stream. Then.
Yeah. I was just joking.
We're commandeering this ship. Get off, scum. Yes. I mean, technically, you kind of do outrank the three of these, because associate and ally of the Tempest Guild, right? That's your line, isn't it, Illyrian? And Shana and Yervith are kind of... Well, Yervith we rescued from a jungle, and he's just got so much PTSD we can't put him back in the real world yet. And Shana's
I have
half
to
snake.
give him-
Stairs are too
have to
difficult
give him-
for her.
Have to give him a little bit of time before we release him into the wilds.
Yeah, we have to build up his
Where he
confidence
came
again.
Please don't put me back in that jungle.
No, not the jungle. We wouldn't put you back in the jungle, I swear.
Oh, good.
I would never do that to you. Right, so I believe that you had been given a task by Langdodrosa to scout out the area that we're investigating today, the side of the ship that had been sunk. Take us through. What'd you find?
Boldor, do you care to inform the others?
In my history of searching the snow plains, I've found many tracks. Many days of snow have covered, I'd say 20, maybe 30 different sets of feet have traveled ice. It is hard to follow as ice shifts and breaks. The path is not consistent. It is
okay.
hard to follow.
Indeed. This will be
It's not the only thing. I get that though. Right, so
Although we must add, it was very easy for us to find this trail and to determine the direction and numbers that were headed that direction. So we are concerned as to the inept of this group, but perhaps that is why we have joined, is to provide some level of expertise.
fantastic.
I agree.
While he's probably talking,
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably be like circling Kay Cee and just comparing him to like Lockie.
Yeah, so
Like,
as you walk around, do you want to make me a insight or investigation check? And I'll tell you different things based on which one you roll.
Sure. Let's do it. It's an
11.
11, so not crash on.
Yeah, as you look over Kay Cee, he definitely looks to be a much newer model. Like, there's no signs of gears, no signs of cogs. Everything is very much... So underneath the armor is all twisting wood that is moving clearly with the aid of magic, the way it's sort of moving and turning. He looks to be, very much a construct out of magical design, whereas Lockie almost looks like clockwork. You have no idea how Lockie actually works, but this looks much more classical Warforged, organic,
Right.
mixed with inorganic compounds to create this construct that can move. The armor is, as you get a bit of a closer look at the armor, Kay Cee, would you have any emblems of your god marked on your armor at all?
Kay Cee actually wouldn't.
Okay,
There
then in
would
that
be
case,
patches where they would
Were?
have been or look like they should be, but there's actually not anything in those locations.
he only got an 11, so he doesn't notice that. So he's just like, it's very clean, very tidy armor that's been well cared for. A few dints and a few scratches in places where it looks like he's taken some hits. The shield looks like it has been well used, but the condition it's in is stunning. Like, this thing looks like it can take a beating. And it has frequently. It looks like it has taken a number of beatings. But all the equipment's in really good use, very clean, no markings, no insignias, nothing. Very different to Lockie. Lockie's much more mechanical. Kay Cee seems to be much more biomechanical in terms of his construction, much more natural wood.
Yeah, oh, sorry, you go.
I was gonna say, as Jin went to inspect Kay Cee, I could see that he was like checking him out. I sort of stand by his side,
Checking
give him
him
a
out.
pat, like a reaffirming pat on the shoulder, just sort of by his side, just reassuring what
As
we've
Big
got
Daddy
going on.
Boulder puts a hand on Kay Cee. Big Daddy
Oh, I
Boulder
see
puts a
he's
hand on the
taken.
shoulder.
I'm sorry.
You'll be all right, son.
No, I
Um,
sort of look and
Boy.
you look a little. We also he was a warforged, we thought, but actually turned out to be a giant forge. It's a whole different story. Yes, you very vastly different construction. Huh. I just sort of stand back.
Interesting.
I start sketching Owen in my
Okay.
book.
Yeah, you can start
You're-
sketching him.
You're getting good use out of that book today.
I love how you
So
can make
you've
a
done this
question.
morning. That's all I've seen you do.
You do not know how tempted I have been to use major image just to
Oh.
plot your visage.
I-
20
I do,
feet.
I do love how you're able to turn a question into a threat, Matt. That was well done.
But no,
Because
Yeah,
what I heard
just,
was, I'm gonna tear that out and burn it in front of you if you keep doing
Yeah,
this.
I'm like seconds away from drawing an arrow, just being like, stop.
I'm watching Yervith as I do the sketch, and just like I got this like smile on my face that was just like just really cheeky and probably shit eating a little bit. Like I'm just being a menace at the moment.
Yeah.
You're this close. You're this close, Valerian.
Leosin, kind of sensing a bit of tension, steps in, having rolled an inside of 18. Kind of like steps in a bit and goes, "Yes, right. So I think we should probably get a bit of a crack on, don't you? We've
That would
probably
be an excellent idea.
got a lot of ground to cover."
I would like to talk to Boulder and Kay Cee in a bit more detail. They can give me some information about the tracks that they saw. It would be useful.
Yes, because you're quite good at tracking. But have you had much experience in the snow and ice?
I mean, not as much as I think our Goliath friend here would have, but it's all the same, isn't it?
I believe between the two of us, we may be able to provide some instruction for yourself,
Oh, that would be excellent. Yes, yes.
as we are on the same team.
Of course, of course.
I just quickly, I think there's a memory that I probably should tell you all. I found out in my drunken stupor last night, as all of you probably were aware. I do remember one of the memories coming through. I was talking to one of the orcs, and they said that they told me sort of like these there was several robed figures in town that had appeared before the town was attacked, and they had these strange like draconic masks, and they were sneaking around. Yes, a seal hunter on the ice noticed one of the masks half covered in snow on the ice, on an ice floe near this I think near where the ship had actually wrecked. So that could potentially help us actually identify this group even more so than before.
What, a mask was left behind?
Potentially. I'll be honest, I also then got... So the same conversation ended up with me in a drink-off against the said orc.
Oh.
And I
Okay.
sculled like 3 flagon-sized ales.
Okay.
It's very hard to sort of...
Okay.
But I think that was sort of along those lines.
Well,
If I remember...
okay. That's, we'll take that with a grain of salt then. All right, well, Leosin, I think it's about time we head off then, huh?
Well, I mean, I also have to add, I'm not sure, I know you weren't there, old Swabby, but, I
Is
also can't
she
really remember
referring
who was
to
at the
one
team.
of us?
Perhaps you might meet Swabby if the mood strikes. But I just did want to add, I can't quite remember actually who was there due to all of the drinking that did proceed last night. But I do remember them, our guide of the town telling us that the dragon cult was known to be in this area and did proceed. So the likelihood of the party that was spotted of it being dragon cult does appear to be quite high.
Agreed.
That we should be on the ready. If you were able to see footprints, then they can't be more than a couple of days' travel away, and that could very well be within line of sight, depending on how flat plains are. So we do need to be quite careful when we're investigating this area.
Line of sight might be tricky in a snowy condition like this. You don't know what sort of snowstorms or winds might come through, block our vision.
So yeah, just in hindsight, I probably should have alerted you all to that fact, but I got sidetracked.
But I
just
didn't.
Sort of look off to the distance.
But I chose not to.
I just sort of shrug and keep sketching.
If he continues to sketch, Boulder is going to subtly try to adjust his pelt. He's aware he's being sketched. He just aligns it to front and center.
Are you trying to
He's wearing a slight armor piece over one side and a big pelt on the front. He just makes sure it's fitting.
Are you
I try to do it subtly. So it depends how stealthy if you realize if I'm actually posing or not.
That's awesome.
That sounds like an insight check.
Stealth check.
Yeah, stealth check and insight check to read.
Okay.
Or
I'll actually do stealth correctly this time.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh wow, that's a high stealth roll.
Very good.
Can I do a perception check? Because I'm not really keeping
Yeah,
an eye out for
I'd
it.
say perception check's okay. 19. You got to beat for stealth. 25. Yeah.
It's not so subtle.
That's a good
Jin-
roll.
Jin, you very quickly realise that Boulder's posing a bit for the sketch. You do with that information what you wish. Yeah, you get the sense that he's posing a bit. He's having a bit of fun with it.
I'll leave him be. I'm not gonna rat on him or anything. I think it's pretty funny though. I just sort of take it in and I just sort of, I just have a laugh with it.
Fair enough. So what would you guys like to do? Is there any other preparation you guys want to do before you leave town, or are you happy for me to take you guys across, we'll do a little bit of sea travel and meet up with Batara and then investigate the site of the sunken ship?
The only thing I wanted to do was maybe buy some armor. But that was pretty much it.
Yeah, what armor would you be looking at?
Wasn't it maybe some studded leather armor?
Yeah, absolutely. You can really quickly head into town and have a quick chat and see what you can find. So, can I get you to roll me a d20, please, just really quickly, so I can see which random shop you walk into. If you could there, lad, that'd be great.
19.
So, Yervith, as you're sort of looking around for a specific armor shop, you realize that there's no real armorers per se, but a number of the mercantile outlets and shipping companies do have these massive warehouses full of shit. And one of the warehouses is just on the docks quite close to you. And as you walk on up to it, you see this is called the Sea Loot's Booty.
Hey.
And as you walk on in, you are greeted at the front desk by a Triton. So this is the first time you guys have probably met a Triton. Blue skin, very amphibious looking features, humanoid, not super tall. This one's only sort of about 5'4", 5'5", so a little bit on the shorter side. Webbed fingers and toes, a second set of eyelids. So the first eyelids, the outer eyelids only blink every so often, but the inner eyelids are blinking all the time. This sort of translucent second set of eyelids. And the gills at the side have sort of closed over, and every so often he's sort of dabbing some water on his gills as he looks. And as you walk in, he looks up and goes, "Oh, hello there, welcome to the Sea Loot's Booty. All sunken treasures and goods found from legitimate salvage. Legitimate salvage. We do not commit piracy here. Legitimate salvage.
No judgment. All good.
It's very rare that wood elves visit this part of the world. Thank you for coming into my shop."
Oh, it's good. The pleasure's mine. No, I don't think I've ever met a Triton before.
Pleasure is all mine. Lovely to meet you too. You can call me Rend. How are you doing?
Oh, Rend. Call me Yervith then.
Yervith, how can I help you, Yervith?
I sort of move my cloak out a little bit, and I go, my armor here has seen better days.
Yes, it has.
In the jungle recently, and I was hoping for something a bit nicer, a bit more harder, a bit more.
Yes.
Appropriate, I suppose.
I can definitely help with that. We recently found some armor. Only one previous owner, and he takes you down an aisle and pulls you sort of through these areas. You can see armor that has like rusted barnacles attached to it. He sort of pushes through the metals and takes you over to a series of leather armors up on racks. Most of them look to be leathers and hides, but as he pushes them aside, you see that there is another set of leather armor there. Again, barnacles appear to have encrusted itself to the surface. He goes, these are ironbark barnacles. They provide some extra protection. In fact, it's these are quite helpful. You do need to keep them wet every couple of weeks or so. If you could just put a bit of moisture on them to keep them alive.
What about humidity and those sorts of conditions? Are they good for it? Or?
Yes, very good. These are very adaptive barnacles. You can find them on the side of undersea vents. Did you know?
Oh, did not. That is very interesting.
Yeah, very, very protective. I could part with this for 50 gold pieces, I think.
50, you say? I think. What about 45?
Maybe a persuasion check.
Okay, I'm not very persuasive, but we'll try.
13. Yes, I could do 45. Yes, I could do 45. Yes.
All right, that sounds good to me.
You can add studded leather armor to your inventory.
Yay!
And if the opportunity arises, if you can chuck in your notes section that it is barnacle studded leather. I will write a reminder for myself. There are 3 conditions which can activate something, and I will let you know when any of those are triggered.
Very cool. All right, no worries.
You'll see. Say that now.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. It is so much fun to mess with.
This is water, salt, and desert heat.
Anytime you touch any fire, the barnacles explode, dealing 60-10 damage to anyone nearby. Yeah, sorry about that.
Radius.
Not to you though, just anyone around you.
It's essentially fireball, but with barnacles.
It's fireball, but barnacles. Yeah, that's it exactly. But yeah, you've got your studded armor. You can head on back. Perfect. As you guys get back on the airship, Leosin, rather than sort of bringing the airship up into its flying state, he keeps it as a ship moving along the water surface. We're burning through fuel quite quickly, and I do have some concerns about our reserves. I think while we can sail under our own weight, we should kind of stick to that, if that's okay. All right, let's carry on. The journey to the iceberg that you're headed for only takes about an hour. It'd only be about half an hour under the power of the ship. So did you ever used to share some questions for Boldor and Kay Cee? If there's any chatting or talking you guys want to do, let me know now. Otherwise, I'll keep pushing with the story.
Oh, I guess no. I'd just probably be wanting to have a bit more detail about the tracks, like the size of the boot of the footmarks, whether or not they were all uniform, or if they were larger ones, smaller ones. If they were all boot marks, or if there were some that looked more like animals, just a whole bunch of survival related.
If they were in standard march or just scattered like cattle.
Yep.
Yeah. Kay Cee and Boulder definitely would know this information, and they can share it with you. Mostly booted feet. There were a number of clawed digitigrade feet, which could be dragonborn, lizard folk, half dragon. There were a couple of larger clawed feet, which indicated some sort of mount, some sort of lizard-like mount. Probably some sort of giant lizard or guard drake would be what Kay Cee and Boulder think, looking at the tracks.
They would not be happy in that weather.
No, not in the ice. But that's kind of the main things that you would get from that. That would be the kind of main vibe. What was the other one? You said if they were scattered or ordered? Pretty ordered. It looks like this was a very deliberate, careful march that was being done.
One more thing. Sorry, just before we leave out of the town, you two, Kay Cee and Boulder, are you prepared for winter weather? It's I'm not quite sure what you've got with you, but it's probably going to be very cold.
No, both of you. I mean, Kay Cee, temperature isn't an issue for you. You are a construct, and Boulder, you are a Goliath. You are from the north. This is balmy. You are sweet. This. You grew up with this temperature.
I imagine we'd both respond with winter.
Am I the only one left here that doesn't like the cold? And she's wrapping herself up in Lockie's electric coat.
As Shana would say that, as you guys are watching Illyrian, he'll probably get his small bag and pull out like a human-sized winter cloak.
Yeah.
Just out of this little bag. And then just chuck it on.
Kay Cee and Boldor, you've seen Bag of Holding before.
Okay.
Sorry, they've seen Baggers of Holding before.
The mysteries.
But I imagine
Not
you
as
did
fun.
it in a performative way. And
Yes.
as you would say.
Very
There
performative.
definitely would have been some there would have been some strut to it or something.
Pizzazz.
It would have been very thematic.
Very
Like
thematic.
magician's hat, just like.
Oh yeah, I do have a.
Yeah, no, you
Hell,
looked
goodness.
fabulous. You looked absolutely fabulous doing it. But both of them are kind of like, we've seen Bags of Holding before. Like, oh wow, yeah, Bag of Holding, huh? Cool.
As we start flying, though, I will, as Shana sort of asks those questions, I'll sort of go up to him and be like, "Well, have you two always, journeyed together? Is this a new partnership, or have you been friends for a while?" As I sort of sit back and just sort of see what they say.
Yeah. It's up to you guys. You can pick between the two of you.
We have done many adventures with each other. We've had many battles. A glance over at his frame, you can't see it, but we certainly have. We've only known
Pulls
each
up
other
a shield.
since
Wait,
Yeah.
what do you mean under his frame? What?
so his Warforged being is in good condition, but his shield is in it's in good condition, but it's seen some battle.
So is his shield the added layer?
He has an actual shield as well.
Okay, gotcha. I sort of take it that he means he saw him naked once.
Okay, sure. You can take it that way. Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah,
I can't
think
stop you.
Yervith's
So.
probably going to walk up and listen to the conversation as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've been friends for a while then. That's good. It's good
We
to
have
friends.
defended one another many a times, and most of the times been victorious.
Most, you say. So you say there's been times where you haven't been victorious.
Well, yes, times when we didn't want to show off too much.
Oh.
Nice.
At the sake of being victorious?
It's a matter, and you all may not understand, as we being the higher ups. Sometimes
Of course.
it is a matter of allowing those beneath you a chance to rise.
Oh.
You
A
see-
teaching experience.
You see, I was once friends with some higher ups as well, and they're all dead now. So yes, be
Is that a-
careful in with your adventures.
I sort of
Casey's
sort
going
of
to
go.
turn to Boulder. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
I'm gonna straddle up to Yervith as he's saying this. I'm like, are you threatening? Under my breath, I'm like, are you threatening our new allies? Like, what are you doing?
No,
That's right, because
no,
at the
I'm just
exact
telling
same
them.
time, Casey goes to Boulder.
I'm just being
I do not
realistic.
understand.
I'm just being
Is that a
realistic.
threat?
It's not a threat. It's not a threat at all. It's just
You
I've
just
seen
sort of
some
hear.
things.
You sort of hear me in the background go, yeah. Fuck.
I'm sorry.
you,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Leosin from the
You
wheel
are
of the
all-
ship calls out, goes, we are all on the same side here, Yervith. All
I'm
on the
sorry.
same side.
It's just it's only been. It's not even been a week. It's been
I
okay.
place my hand on his shoulder.
I'm sorry. I just sort of like.
I just sort of shush him like, shh, it's okay. It's okay. Just stop
Yeah,
talking
but
to me. You're making it worse.
I understand. Not all of us can be as coherent in the spoken language as some of the others of
Oh
us.
my god.
My,
I'm
no,
gonna
my
smack
speed-
this dude.
I am not very good at talking. I leave that to this one. Yep, he's better at that. I just shoot things. that look
Do you
cool.
like fighting though? Because we'll get along then.
Oh yes. I like stabbing things a lot. And I pull out my swords, and I'm like,
I sort of lean in towards Kay Cee and Boulder, sorry, and I sort of put my hand in front of my mouth. I'm like, I've seen it. It's a bit. It's harrowing to say the least when he It was very interesting.
Curved or corkscrew?
Is that more direct? I guess it's more directed at Yervith.
That seems like a Yervith question.
It's curved.
Excellent.
Just yeah. So yeah. I think we get along just fine.
She'll be right.
Well, with that in mind, and Kay Cee will pull up an arm, and out will extend a longsword straight out of the arm.
Oh, that's
I can do something like that as well. And then, like, I materialize my
Show
like
off.
shadow blade.
Okay, so Jin's shadow blade comes out. Kay Cee and Boulder, you watch as Illyrian's shadow is pulled up into his hands. He has no shadow, and the shadow forms into a long, dark, curved katana that leaks black shadow.
Very, very similar. Nice. I think mine just has a little bit more pizzazz, though, unfortunately.
Such a piece of shit.
I'm
Oh, but you know, poor me. Like I'm just below you. Your long sword is just shines above. Oh, superior one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna step away now.
Leosin,
Help me!
Leosin calls back.
This measuring.
Leosin calls back from the prow of the ship. I think we're here, guys. You can put your dicks away now, thanks. I think we've arrived. And as you look over the side, you can see the airship is approaching the edges of the large expanses of ice that have been broken, shattered. The sea ice rocks gently in the ocean current. It's not too windy and the waves aren't too high today, so the sea ice sort of clinks together itself and sending these crackling sounds shooting through the ocean, echoing underneath the ship. Anyone who heads below deck can hear these magnified by the hollow space of the ship, the sounds of ice shooting, these noises of ice shooting. But as you head back up to the top, you can see that just in front of these larger icebergs is a multitude of tightly packed, almost just snow covering the surface of the ocean that has sort of solidified into small, tiny little clumps of ice that's cracking against one another. The ship is grinding through these as it approaches the edge of the iceberg. Leosin does the best job he can and does manage to park the ship without too much bumping. Yeah.
Before we got too far into the ice, could Shana sort of use some kind of shape water to protect the front of the hull as we break through the ice?
Absolutely. Shana can be at the front, sort of moving
just quickly,
the water on
hold
either
on.
side. Yeah.
I really want to paint a picture. So Shana does this after she gets up off the floor from laughing.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's rolling along the ground laughing. I was like, I could probably be helping.
And then the whole ship shakes as you crash into an iceberg, and this is like, Shana, with Mira not here. Shape water, please.
Yes, I got it. She makes some ice that comes up around the bow to sort of act like a bit of an icebreaker.
Oh, nice. Even better. Yeah. So rather than concentrating, you just freeze up a section of ice that covers the front of the ship. And yeah, perfect.
Just protect
makes a
it.
blade.
Another ice.
Yeah. The boat comes to a stop as the ocean turns off the engine. The shuddering of the propellers ceases, and the boat begins rocking gently in the water, no longer under propulsion. Leosin heads to the front of the boat and goes, right, well, I'm going to stay on the ship, obviously, with Grisha, Arvel, and the Kenku friends. If you guys wanted to head on out, start your work, I'll put down the gangplank.
Sounds good to me.
Before we leave, if I can also create an ice barrier between the ship and like the ice/snow that we're sort of moored up
You
against,
can
just
make
to stop it from like
5-foot cube one, yeah.
like you know like little fenders. Like can I just make like a bunch of fenders and ice?
So the problem is, right, that you can't shape the water and freeze it at the same time. So you
Oh,
can't do. It's no longer abuse water. It's back to being shape water now that two of you don't have it. So unfortunately, as you sort of got to do this, you just succeed in freezing a whole bunch of ice around the ship, and then as the sea begins moving once again, it cracks and shatters and falls apart.
Oh.
I tried.
Sorry, no
I
more
wish I was here.
broken game mechanics for two people having shape water. Not for the moment. Unless Kay Cee or Boulder are about to reveal they've both got shape water, then we're in trouble again.
Actually, nah.
I did look at it.
Abuse
It's
water.
like this.
Yeah. But yeah, in front of you can see the vast expanse of the sea ice. Far, far in the distance to the north, you can see a rising mountain far, far away, which you know is the heart of winter, the volcano at the very center of the Arctic Circle. But the sea ice stretches on and on and on. You suspect that on a clear day like today, you're very lucky to have that view of the volcano in the distance. Anytime the snow was blowing or the cloud cover moved in, this place would just become cold and bitter and hard to see, immersed in this icy fog of snow and white sleet. But today the conditions are fairly clear. As the Ocean lowers the gangplank and heads back up towards the deck of the ship, Grisha, the half-orc bosun, comes on and begins tying off various ropes. For Kay Cee and Boldor, you see this deckhand who's clearly employed to manage the ship, begins tying off ropes. Quite a burly half-orc woman, tattoos across her chest, arms, which show her fighting off various pirates and sea creatures, which for Maloran orcs, for the half-orcs, is a sign of deeds that she has done. These would be things she has actually done that are tattooed on her skin. She doesn't acknowledge you, doesn't say hello, doesn't even seem to recognize that new people are on the deck of the ship. She just does her job, gives a bit of a nod to Leosin, and then heads back up towards the back of the ship. But yeah, the gangplank lies before you, and you can see the vast expanse of snow and ice ahead.
As I see her quickly and I notice all those tattoos, I go to her, hey, that looks quite similar to mine, actually, and I show my chest.
Grisha sort of pauses, turns around and goes, what rubbish are you spout? What? Kay Cee and Boldor, Jin, Illyrian, has an orcish tattoo across his chest of an airship being attacked by manticores, 3 manticores. And this figure that clearly is Illyrian, clearly is Jin, is summoning a giant dragon which is wrapping its wings around the ship and breathing fire across these manticores, scaring them away.
So that's a major image that are made to be an ancient dragon.
Ancient dragon. It's tattooed on his chest. Grisha looks and goes, that's not how I remember it. At all.
Well, there was 2 manticores, not 3.
Yeah, that's gonna walk and be next to Grisha, because I haven't seen this either. And I'm
no.
What? Are you saying you did this?
I did do this with 2, but admittedly, they did I might have elaborated, or they
Which
embellished.
tribe gave you the honor of being bloodkin? She sort of peeks a bit closer and goes, Wave Riders.
Okay, I need to write down my notes because I didn't even know that.
You have no idea who these people were. You just got shit-faced with them and let them tattoo
Yeah,
you.
exactly. Yeah. I just sort of sit there and go, I nod. I don't say anything about hey, I don't
The
know.
Wave Riders granted you this gift. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. I hope you understand how much of a blessing this is to be named Bloodkin. We don't just let anyone have this honor. It is not something to be shown off as a party trick.
As she advances on you, standing I think it's half a foot over you.
I sort of look at her and go, no, not a party trick at all. No, I just wanted to show that me and you, we have something in common.
Right. Very well then.
Backs off and begins heading back downstairs.
I sort of, as she walks off, I just sort of do a slight, a sign of relief.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna start dancing it around behind her back while you were walking away.
No. She's scary.
But yeah, you guys can head down the plank and onto the sea of ice.
What I'm going to do, Owen, is I still have my umbral blade in my hand.
Yes.
I'm going to do Blessing of Shadows and do 1 charge.
Okay, absolutely. So would you like to read out what the Blessing of Shadows does for those who don't know how your special homebrew magic item works?
Yes, so one of my abilities is, while holding the sword, this is my first, ability. Is it another one? While holding the sword, you can use an action to spend a charge and give yourself 1d10 temporary hit points. This property can't be used again until the next dusk. Ooh.
Would you like to roll your 1d10 temporary hit points for me?
I hope it's good. 8. Nice. That's actually really
You can
good.
add that as temporary hit points.
So I imagine with the blade in my hand, it starts pulsing and pulsing and pulsing, and it becomes rapidly a bit more. And then some of those shadows just sort of start enveloping me, and then just get sucked into my being. And then
So you watch as all the shadows around, shadows from barrels, shadows from the mast, shadows from the prow of the ship begin being pulled towards the sword. And as the sword drinks them in, the blackness begins to move, the shadows begin to move down Jin's hand until his entire hand is black, and then it retreats back again.
Cool.
And your eyes turn black for that period of time as well, as we know.
Yep. And then with that, before we go on the ship, I'll probably just unsummon the Umbral Blade.
Yeah, absolutely. I've moved you guys across to the map layer. I'm not going to bring the stream across to the map just yet, but I will bring the stream across to the map when things happen. I just want to give you guys something to look at, rather just than blackness. I realized that Kay Cee and Boldor couldn't see anything because they didn't have tokens down. So can you guys see? You guys can see everything. It's all looking perfect.
I can.
Perfect.
Yep.
Good. You should just see a vast expanse of sea ice. I had a lot of fun making this map.
Oh boy.
So,
Cool.
as you guys begin heading down the gangplank and reach the edge of the iceberg, you can see definite signs as Kay Cee and Boldor point out what you're looking for. You can see the boot prints in the snow. You can see where clearly another ship was docked. But more importantly, now that you guys have got a bit of a chance to look around, you can see deep below. Kay Cee and Boldor did spot the sunken ship, about 35 meters deep through this crystal clear water. You can see a sunken ship. Not an airship, clearly a sailing ship, right at the very bottom of a rocky outcropping underneath. It looks like the ocean floor moves and shifts, and there's a particularly shallow part here. And right beneath you is a sunken ship. And that's what you can see in the dark depths.
Sorry, how far down did you say that was again?
35 meters, about 35 meters deep.
Oh, meters.
Meters, yes. We're going in. We're going in metric because fuck Imperials, Rebel Alliance.
All our sheets are in Imperial.
My initials are OB. My nickname, the only nickname I've ever had is OB1. Fuck the Imperials, Rebels. Carry on. Yeah, different franchise.
All right, but anyone else? 35 meters is 115 odd feet.
If you're going by feet, you're wrong, and you need to rethink your life choices. But yeah, so how that many feet? 115 feet deep, but 35 meters deep. You can see the wreck of this ship. It has been split in half. There are obvious burn signs where this thing has been set on fire. And Yervith, Jin, and Shana know that the townspeople, in retaliation of their town being attacked by these cultists, this Order of the Dragon, when they came across their ship docked on the ice and unguarded, they broke it and burnt it and put it on the bottom of the sea and sank it as revenge. Before too long,
Kay Cee wouldn't know that. Kay Cee would say, "Shall we inspect this ship? Shall we go down? Ready?"
Are you offering?
Well,
I mean, you're the only one of us that could potentially breathe on the bottom of the ocean. But
Oh my god, that's so true.
Breathe? No, I don't breathe.
That's precisely the point.
I see the point. Very good.
I did suggest this with our other Warforged, but the plan did not go over well because it did involve the ship moving at the time, and then we decided that was a terrible idea. But
That sounds like an excellent decision to not inquire as to the contents of the ship whilst in transit.
Leosin steps back up on ship, having come back from the captain's cabin, and holds out a bag. Right, potions of water breathing. I'm assuming you dickheads didn't buy them, so I bought them.
Oh, Leo.
I sort of look at him blankly as I take in the insult.
Wow, am I
Leos
right?
and you're right, but also I have no intention of going below the ice. That sounds like hell. Unless,
I just wanted to make sure you had the option.
I mean, I'll take one.
I'll take it anyway, but like, I don't intend.
No. These cost money. If you're not going to use this now, I'm keeping it here so I can be in charge of it. Give that back. He reaches over and takes it off you. Absolutely not. Use these cost. You have no idea how much these cost. We are burning money here, people. We need money desperately. The cost of this airship alone has put us in a serious financial problem. So I shouldn't be saying this in front of the interns. Look, you've joined a great guild. We're flush with money. We're doing really well. There's nothing to worry about.
Not even
our finances are fine.
We
need
have
more
promoted
salvage.
internships. Members,
exactly. We need more salvage. If you find more gold, please acquire it.
I was gonna say. I mean, we found some salvage not long ago.
Yes, we need a lot more. Someone, and I don't want to name any names, but Azua is burning through our finances at a rapid rate. He bought 6 sets of uniforms for each of you. We don't wear uniforms.
Uniform. Oh,
So-
I must meet this Azure fellow. It sounds lovely.
Boulder and Kay Cee are not wearing uniforms.
So Owen,
Yes.
not like at a game.
Yes.
In my bag of holding, I did set aside 40,000 silver pieces. That equates to 4,000 gold pieces.
Do you pass that over to the guild, or are you? Because so far
That's-
he stole it from the
we
Horde of the
took
Dragon
a-
Queen.
Yeah, we took a lot of.
That was from the air.
We
That was from the Sky
distributed
Castle.
a lot. I also still have 120 pastries in my.
Yeah, but that's,
bag as
let's
well.
be honest, that's what's keeping the guild afloat right now, not the silver.
Yeah, man.
You
I
haven't
do
told
sort of-
Leosin you have this silver, so he doesn't know. Only you know. I think only you and Mira know you have this much gold. Yervith wasn't there for that. Shana wasn't there for that.
I'm going to grab.
Lucky wasn't there for that. It's only you and Mira who know about this gold.
I'm gonna sort of go up to Leos and be like, just sort of nod over to
Right,
the,
Captain's cabin.
Yes, just quickly.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Nice.
1 second. Just having a captain's cabin meeting.
You ever
Yeah,
kind of like
just-
puts his hands up, like,
I look
are we
at-
doing this or not? Like,
I look
I
at
see right
KC. I look at
Assumedly
KC.
steps forward for this meeting.
I look at KC and I go, just people who are above the guild, like me, an associate. Sorry.
Okay, no.
And I walk.
I do
into
not
the-
understand, but you have been here longer. I shall conform.
Play nice with the guests, Owen said. Please,
I
play nice
know,
with the
eh?
guests.
He started
In
it.
case you'll step back.
He started.
I don't care who started it, I'm finishing it! Yeah, so,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
so-
I actually love it. I love the running joke. Anyway, I'm gonna go in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit down with the I'm like, so how much do you sort of need to?
Yeah,
stay
we're
afloat?
over 25,000 gold in debt, and I'm hoping that we can start to. Yeah, the airship was expensive, and I'm really hoping we can.
paid that. We paid that off. I'm sure.
No, we've paid off most of it, just not all of it.
Because yes. Well, anyway, to keep us afloat at least partially, I give him 20,000 SP, which is
2,000 gold.
2,000 gold.
Oh wow,
just to keep
this
them
will really
afloat.
help. No, this will be great. We can spend this to earn more money. I like it.
I nod, and then I offer him like 15 pastries.
These are so stale. It's like wrapping it on the desk. How long have these been in your bag for?
Well, it's a bag of holding, so there's actually no like.
So they've not
oxygen,
rotted,
so
but they have
they're
gone
not
stale
rotted.
because
They might be a little
that's an-
stale, but
yeah.
I'm sure you can just panache it up. Look, don't stare a gift horse in the mouth, Leosin.
Thanks, Jim. I appreciate
I sort
this.
of nod with a smile.
I'll treasure these always. And he chucks one out the window behind him and sweeps the gold into a chest.
I do. whisper
I'm
to
catching
him,
fish. Chucks another one.
I
out.
whispered to him. There's 105 more of these.
Of the gold or the pastries? Because I'll be honest, we could use the gold. Oh, right. Oh, I'm pleased you're not wasting your time.
Well, the 2,000 gold should help them.
Yes, no, that will help. But I mean, I assume you had to go through quite a period of time to acquire these and stuff them in your bag of holding, and this is taking up space in your bag of holding, I assume. 100 pastries. I just want you to,
It
if it's a
is
choice
a little
between
bit.
gold or pastries, can I ask that you choose gold and tip the pastries out?
I look at him like, do you think me a fool?
You have 100 pastries in a bag of holding. I'm reserving judgment for the moment.
I'm just saying that they helped us in a tight spot. They
Did
were
they?
offered as tribute to a god. And
Then they worked.
successfully taken.
And the god accepted this?
He did.
Which god was this?
I sort of stare off blankly. It was a statue in a ziggurat in the jungle. I
Dinos.
don't know what god it was.
Oh, you mean Diderus the Lich,
Well, I don't know.
who
actually.
wanted
He
to
might-
corrupt you and take control of your futures? That Diderus?
That told us many
Oh,
truths that
What a
turned out to be
shocker!
better than
What a shocker!
I
The
sort
man
of-
who tried to convince you to commit horrible atrocities was
I
happy to
look
accept your
off-
pastries.
I look off in the distance and I go, from what I remember, actually, it was a statue of a very, very muscular man staring off and pondering into the distance.
Fair enough then.
I have no idea who it is.
Fair enough. Oh, look,
Um,
I just
at that point,
Yep, go.
Boldor.
Uh
Oh.
oh. We might have lost
Yeah,
Tom.
Boulder
No, Tom, come back.
It's like
Alright,
Hodor.
I'm back.
He's
Hodor.
back.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go. I'm good. when you mentioned it was a muscular figure, then I would have asked if I would have been
Unfortunately,
paying attention.
Jin's
if it sounded-
taken away Leosin into the captain's cabin and closed the door. So at this point, you guys aren't there for that. It's just Jin.
You can try and eavesdrop if you want.
But literally, like after 30 seconds, they're both back on the deck of the ship. And
Yes, I'll
Leosin's
come
like,
back out now.
This looks at you again and goes like,
Sure.
a statue of a muscular man. And Boulder, you hear that.
Does he
Yeah,
start posing again? Please stop posing again.
They were.
Does not.
Wait.
In the context of gods, there was something important. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter now. It's not about gods.
Just stop posing.
All right.
So Yervith, you're having a potion of water breathing. Boulder,
yeah.
did you want a potion of water breathing? I know you're brave and bold enough to. It's literally in a name.
Yes.
You can't spell bold
Yes,
without
please.
bold. So hands you over a potion of water breathing.
Thank you.
Wait, is that bold like O or A? They're very different meanings.
It is Boldor, and it's B-O-L.
I guess it actually
B-O-R.
works because you're also bold, aren't you? You only have a beard.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
drew. For those of you who can see the screen and have seen the character art flashing through, I don't know what happened, but I was trying to draw a Goliath Barbarian, and I just drew Kratos from God of War. It's literally just Kratos. I don't know what happened. Clearly, there was some like thing in my mind where like when I'm drawing that figure, it's like, and now we draw Kratos. So if you could find a chance to go, boy, I would appreciate it. That would be great.
Oh wow.
Oh, it might come in at some point. I'll just leave the suspense. It'll
Yeah.
come possibly.
Oh, okay.
Careful, boy. So you guys, Leos is
I
back on the
take
deck
a
of the ship.
water. I'll
Take a potion of water breathing?
Potion.
All right, Shana, you're gonna stay on the deck with me then.
Oh, are we all going down there?
Oh, well,
They
Sean,
all-
you can keep watch if you want.
I mean,
Might
I'm
need-
not going to.
We might need you up here. We don't know what's out here in these.
We have Leosin up here.
Yeah.
I am not
yeah.
going to leave you guys to go down there on your own. As
But
much as I
I mean-
really don't fucking want to.
I mean, you
Shana,
don't have
if you
to.
would like, you could hold our hand and extends a hand down towards you.
Or
And then
She
detaches
reaches
it and
back.
goes up.
she reaches back, she asks for the potion of water breathing from Leosin, and she takes CK's hand.
yeah, that's right.
I sort
Peer
of
pressure every time.
now- I sort of sit at the back and I'm like to Yervith, the signs of first love.
So the potions have been handed to you, small flasks, conical flasks filled with a cloudy green undulating liquid. As you uncork it, the smell of the sea wafts over you, and deep inside you can see a bubble slowly moving up and down, almost like a jellyfish moving through the water with trails of smaller bubbles coming off it. Sort of salt sea breeze air hits your face as you uncork the bottles. Leosin sort of looks
So
and
we're
goes,
really going down there.
bottoms up.
Sure am, Shana.
Down.
All right.
Yeah.
Down the
Sends it
water
down.
breathing potion.
All of you except for Kay Cee drink your potions. You have water breathing for an hour. Kay Cee, you don't need to breathe, so you don't give a shit.
Kicking goals.
Kicking goals.
A quick question. Diving
yes.
into this ice cold water, do we actually have like the danger of like hypothermia?
So Lockie, the boxes that Lockie has given you will continue to function even underwater to maintain body
Cool.
heat.
Nice.
Boldor
And
Okay, so
doesn't have one,
Mountain born?
but you are from the mountain. You probably are used to cold temperature, but water is a bit different. I'd say probably Leosin would head back inside and bring out one of these boxes and hand it to you. One of our giant forged, our Warforged companion Lockie made these. If you just turn the handle at your waist every so often, it's just clutches onto your belt. It's a small mechanical box, Boulder, with a handle that turns like a crank. If you turn that crank, it'll maintain your body temperature. You just have to do it every once in a while.
Neat.
Very neat.
Hmm.
Yes,
also,
Shana.
just before we go down, can
Did you
Shana
seriously just
sort of
raise
go
a
up to the-
hand?
Yes, I didn't want to interrupt anyone, but I'm just going to quickly, before, I don't want you guys to go without me, that as she sort of mutters, this, I don't want you to go without me, she walks down to the water's edge and she uses animal friendship to try and summon a couple more sea snakes to be
So now we
her
discussed
allies.
this. Animal friendship does not summon creatures. Animal friendship
That's not-
helps you
know,
become
yeah.
friends with creatures.
Request snakes, sea snakes.
Why
I'm
are
gonna
there always
Sea
sea snakes?
Shana, I'm going to tell you this. Shana, I want you to think about the environment that you're in, and I want you to think about the
Yeah,
physiology
what?
of
No.
snakes.
There's
We
no
are
way
in.
to sea snakes
Cool,
live
they do what
there.
they want.
We're in the
They're
Arctic Circle.
cold-blooded, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll die here.
Just be like,
There's
So
just
quick.
as Shana's like desperately searching for a sea snake, a small like iceberg with a snake frozen inside, like clearly in the midst of agony, floats past. And you realize that this is no environment for snakes. Shana, I
tried.
really respect you want to use your Yuan-Ti feature to become best friends with every snake you see. You
We're
picked,
friends.
but you've just left the tropical jungle where you didn't
no.
use that, and
That's so
arrived in
fun,
the
that's so
Arctic
funny.
where you can't use that.
It wasn't Yuan-Ti in the jungle.
It's true. I'm gonna let you know.
never going back.
I promise. I will tell you if we see any snakes. I will describe them in detail. I've got it in the back of my mind. I'll let you know. I've got that covered. But if you attempt
Oh,
to
man.
summon snakes one
Hold
more
on.
time, I will summon
Owen.
something. Yes.
Owen, from above her, as I know she's looking for snakes.
Yeah.
As she's like going, "Hey snake, come here." I do a minor illusion like 30 feet down to emulate like a snake.
Shana, you see a
She
green
jumps
python.
in. She wants to make friends with the snakes. She jumps in.
You guys watch as Shana just slithers into the water straight away before the rest of you have like gotten in.
Well, I guess that's it then. And I just jump in.
As she gets
Up
closer
there.
to it, I'm gonna have the snake sort of like fizzle into like, just fizzle into nothingness.
Fizzle into an image of a poop.
No, yeah,
Oh,
just, yeah.
there's nothingness because she can just. It's happening again.
I'm just gonna have a fizzle out.
Shana, as you get closer, you realize this is an illusion. There is no snake. It just disappears
It's just
into
a stick.
sparks.
It's just a stick.
It's just a stick.
No,
Again,
it's
I don't know what
fizzles.
there's a stick doing here on account of this being the middle of the Arctic
Yeah,
and there's
no.
no trees, but it's a stick, apparently. Bit of drift.
No, it fizzles. It fizzles.
I try yelling at Jin to stop playing tricks on people, but I realize that I'm underwater and my voice is just
Yeah, you guys have realized something very important. You cannot talk underwater.
Okay.
Actually, Kay Cee can, but the rest of you can't. Because Kay Cee's
Excellent.
voice is not based on airflow because he doesn't breathe, so it can't be based on airflow. But
Yeah,
as you guys begin-
well, as we go down, I'm actually going to use minor illusion though to like broadcast words.
you can spell out some
Oh,
words
yeah.
with minor illusion. Of course you can. As Kay Cee, as you step in, you just start sinking immediately, being made of metal.
And Kay Cee goes feet first.
Oh,
Yes.
as Kay Cee starts like
Yes.
going down, can I grab onto him and like
Yeah.
use him to like
Yeah.
come down? Yeah.
I'm definitely going to do like a double flourish or something into the water.
Okay. Do you want to make me a performance check? You showboating
Yeah.
bastard.
It's a 25.
Oh, fuck
triple
you.
backflip. Goes between
And
the
it's
crack
like
of two
perfect.
icebergs that smash together right at the last second as he passes through the gap between them.
Fix the landing.
Yeah.
And doesn't even make a sound as I enter the water.
No,
That's a-
Boldor, as you step in, you just step on the same iceberg
Does-
and it just cracks in half and you just go straight through. With your muscles, you're just like punch through this iceberg as you go into the water, do a swan dive. As you guys begin swimming down, the water is it's very, very clear. The light coming down from above, it doesn't seem like the ice is disrupting the light too much. It's actually refracting it, creating this beautiful display of iridescent waves of light all around you. And as you begin heading deeper, these sort of shafts of light shining down reveal, the sunken ship below you. It's easily sort of 12 meters long. It's cracked in half. There are sections of burns all over it. The mast, particularly, and the sails are gone. It looks like they probably broke off and didn't sink with the rest of the ship. And as you begin swimming further and further down, the cold begins to get closer and closer. You feel the cold clutching at your chest, making it harder to breathe, but not enough that you're taking any damage or feeling any ill effects. Yervith, who's holding on to Kay Cee, sort of looks up in confusion as Yervith's just like hanging on for dear, like as he drops down into the ocean. And Kay Cee, you're sort of the first one to arrive, landing on the sandy, rocky sea bottom right in front of the ship with this sort of dull thud. And Yervith, you immediately equalize and sort of tumble over and come upright, sort of swimming in place.
Kay Cee would probably take that chance to say, "This is a fantastic demonstration of how we might provide services to one another in support and also rely on each other in times of need."
Yes, if you
You
need
just-
a boat anchor.
You just see Yervith not even say anything. He just puts his he just does thumbs up and just nods.
It's kind of a little bit like
Shana's.
Kay Cee would look like Mary Poppins, like dragging Yervith behind as Yervith's cloak opens up and becomes a very
shield,
jellyfish
which is-
coloration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before too long, Shana, Boldor, and Jin, you guys are all swimming down. You catch up to the rest of them. You can see vast schools of fish swimming around the wreck of this ship. High above you, coral has actually affixed itself to the underside of the sea ice in certain places, large, particularly big, thick pieces of sea ice. And long tendrils and tentacles drip down from the surface, coming down easily sort of 10, 11 meters. Small glowing lights dotted along their surface, which every so often when a fish runs into it, the tentacle curls up, sticking to it and wraps it and pulls it back up to the mouth at the top of the column.
I will scan the underwater environment.
Yeah.
I just want to see if there's any like threats or any other any big fish that I should be worried about.
Can I get a perception check, please?
Absolutely.
Or an investigation, but I know you pick perception. 29. Look, you just struggle to see. 29. You see everything. Probably the most immediate threat you notice is likely to be the inside of the ship itself, the environmental hazards of being in the ship. This ship is so damaged. There are sections of it as the water sort of moves backwards and forwards, swaying very gently. There are sections of the ship that are still moving. It looks like the top deck at any moment could collapse and crush the back half of the ship. Very precariously balanced. You immediately identify that as a danger. Looking down through other parts, you can see the dark forms of sharks moving in the distance. There are sharks around, but you probably know, I would say you know enough about the ocean and about nature that sharks are not an immediate threat to people who are clearly in the environment that they can see. It's more if they can't quite see what you are that you're much more of a threat. That's why surfers get attacked way more than scuba divers.
Because they always think they're seals from above.
Exactly, yeah. Let's have some real world knowledge. I'm a scuba diver. Sharks are super cool and fun and lovely when you're a scuba diver.
Cute.
If you're a surfer, when they think you look like a seal, sharks don't have great vision.
Yeah,
and they taste. They're like dogs.
Man.
Yeah. And so sharks do what dogs do. They taste stuff with their mouth to see what it is. That's why most shark attacks aren't more than one bite. It's only one bite. They go, ugh, that's disgusting. Get it out of my mouth. Yeah. And then they leave.
That's why most people die. That's what
sharks sound like. That's what sharks sound like.
Oh my God. That's why most people die from blood loss, though.
That's right. Yeah.
Exactly. So you would probably know enough about. Yeah. So sharks aren't scary. Sharks are friends, not scare. So you know enough that sharks are not an immediate threat to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But apart from that, you probably, looking around, you don't see any immediate threats. The ship itself, the environmental threat of the ship is probably the biggest danger that you notice. In terms of other sea life, for a frigid, cold wasteland, the undersea sea ice is teeming with life. Large crabs with white pebble-like bodies that look like almost frozen clumps of ice scuttle around on the seafloor, picking at detritus and debris. You can see long flatworms moving throughout the silt. There's a few pockets of what look like this was like much higher salinity, some brine pools where barnacles are clustered around as well. It's a really interesting ecosystem, but nothing screams danger to you at this point.
Are the barnacles on my armor doing anything in these conditions, or are they just regular old barnacles on my armor?
Yervith, with your perception of 29, I probably should have said this earlier. The barnacles have opened, and you can see little tendrils coming out and catching detritus from the water.
Oh, from my armor.
Jetsam. Yeah. All the barnacles on your armor are opening and occasionally catching little bits of sea snow. I think it's called when it's that the bits of biomaterial that drips down from like fish poo and bits of dead stuff that barnacles are capturing and eating.
Yeah.
I think it's called snow, isn't it? Sea snow. Yeah.
I was gonna say, could Shana take a little bit of time, depending on what the bottom of the seafloor is made out of? Could she use mold earth to try and stabilize the ship somewhat so that it doesn't come crashing down?
Yeah, absolutely. What sort of area can you affect with mold earth? I believe it's
5 foot cube per action. So if she can use multiple actions to like Minecraft block her way into like making support.
Okay. We're dealing with soft undersea sand, but because I am a kind and generous DM, I will point out you have another cantrip that could be useful here.
Pick water.
You are underwater. You could just freeze pillars of ice using your hands to freeze the water and shape it.
That works too. I was just hoping they didn't float away.
No, if you freeze them to the bottom onto rocks and then affix them to the boat, you could do that. Of course you could.
Yeah, that works too. Yep. She just used whatever cantrip she has at her availability. She's like, gonna stabilize this so that we don't come crashing down, like get stuck under the water of this frigid fucking ocean.
Yeah. Do you want to? Can you roll me a spellcasting check just to see how effective you are at this? Yervith, with Yervith helping you, having identified this. So yeah, just like a spell attack. Yeah, that's fine. That's exactly the same. Yeah, with Yervith helping you with this, I'm going to give you a +1 on top of your roll. So 19 total. So 18 then +1 from Yervith's
No,
assistant.
the first one was 24. So
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that it rolled twice. 24, 25 total.
Yeah, I don't know why my beyond 20's doing this.
That's
to
okay,
me.
don't worry about it. Yeah, 25 total. That's plenty. Yervith sort of swims over a bit closer and starts pointing out the areas of structural weakness. Shana, as you begin to shape water, forming these ice crystals that hold it in place. Yeah, before sort of too long, maybe after a minute or so, Yervith, you're very confident this is now much more stable. It's going to take a lot to make this collapse. While these two are doing that, Kay Cee, Boldor, Jin, what are the three of you doing? Let's start with Kay Cee.
Kay Cee will be communicating with everyone, just asking lots of questions. Are you here comfortable? Can you breathe? Why? My apologies. You cannot respond appropriately.
Shana and Jin can, technically.
But Shana's currently dealing with she's freezing ice at this point. So it's
as
just
he's
Boldor,
sort of
Jin,
talking
Kay Cee.
and he's sort of staring blankly at us like, hey, why is no one?
Can I just jump in?
Oh, yeah,
At some point beforehand, before we get to here, if somebody would have referred to Kay Cee as he, Kay Cee would have said, actually, we are they. We are non-gendered. We are metal. We do not subscribe to your construct of male-female.
Just
That
as
is
I am a construct, I do
ridiculous.
not subscribe to your construct.
Wait, so are we doing this on the boat before we go in?
I'd say that probably as you head down, Kay Cee could have, because you haven't referred to Kay Cee as he up until that point. So probably this is the point where, like, as you're writing it out with your minor illusion, that's probably when Kay Cee's like, tisk tisk.
Kay Cee would try and
Wave it away.
What I'll do is then, with my minor illusion, I'll go, aren't we all? That's what it was saying.
Kay Cee will say, no.
Yes.
Yes?
I might not be made of metal. This is all being written to you in minor illusion.
Yeah.
But there's more than meets the eye.
Kay Cee, what little you might know about changelings. Do you want to make me a nature check? See what you know about changelings.
Actually, no.
I didn't
Kay Cee's
say
response
nothing
would
about
have
me being
been,
a changeling, though.
Oh, true. You don't know.
We are not
Sorry.
all made of metal.
I say no, not metal. I am biological, but not necessarily a he or she either, per se. This is all being like minor illusion to him.
Yeah.
This is a very slow conversation.
It definitely would be.
This is the point where like Shana has finished, because every 6 seconds you can do this. So this is the point where Shana sort of finished and come back. While Jin and Kay Cee are having this chat, Boldor, what are you doing?
Having a look for entrances on the ship and anything that's moved in or out. Looking for ways to get around, best access type thing.
Definitely. Do you want to make me a perception investigation or a nature check? And I'll tell you different things depending on which one you choose to do.
Can do.
I haven't set up the soundboard for
Rumpy.
Minecraft things, but if I had the
Did a
soundboard set up, I
performance
could have
check
done the.
and a persuasion check.
And a persuasion. Yeah.
None of the ones he was asking for.
It's getting worse. There we go.
19's
That's the
good.
one. I had to
So
warm up the
8
dice.
for performance, 4 for persuasion, but the 19.
Have you heard of the 3 Ps before? Like,
Oh my god, yeah, performance, persuasion, perception.
Yeah.
3
All
Ps to
relevant.
success. Perception, yeah, Boulder. As you're looking around, you can easily see that the ship, as it's cracked in half and sections that have been broken in, this was deliberately scuttled, 100%. There are sections that are easy to swim through on the lower decks that have been broken in. The upper deck that's kind of split open, easy enough to swim in as well. Signs of things coming and going. There are strange tracks in the silt heading into the lower deck that almost look like long drag marks in the silt.
So
Single track.
Boulder
long
would have
drag.
seen this and
Just 3 feet wide.
gone to moved a little bit closer to have a look at it,
Mm.
figure out what it is, and then turn to everyone else and try to convey this and hasn't figured out the communication part there, and it's just like, oh.
I'm clipping that. That's clipped. Yeah.
Perfect.
I don't know. I think Yervith would probably notice that.
Yeah. As you guys are kind of wrapping up, you turn around and see Boulder making these over-the-top hand signs pointing at something in the silt.
I'll swim over and see what and look at the tracks and see what they
Yeah,
be.
Yeah, do you want to make me a nature check? See if you can identify what kind of creature would have made these tracks.
Well, yeah.
Yervith's about to get some
Oh.
10. Yervith, looking at these tracks, they look almost like, long, thin drag marks, like someone was dragging something long and sinewy. Kind of looks a little bit like some of the Yuan-Ti tracks that you'd seen in the jungle.
Oh. I
Very
raise an
snake-like in a
eyebrow.
way.
I think back to what it could be using my very limited knowledge of underwater creatures, and I think back to that encounter we had with that underwater squid. Remember the one that came up through the
Yes, I do.
yeah,
Through
I
the
kinda-
blue hole. Mm.
Yeah, through the blue hole, and I think back to that, and I look at Boldor, and I sort of do my best gesture with my hands, like to make like a squid.
So
Okay.
there is
With my hand.
actually there's a dive sign for squid and cuttlefish.
Oh, is there?
yeah.
Oh,
So
cool.
that's turtle, that's cuttlefish,
Hell.
and then
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
squid.
Yeah, cool. I would do that. I
Yeah.
would do that.
For podcast
Um,
listeners, you have one hand closed around the fist of the other, and you wiggle your fingers. That's
cool.
Beautiful. And then cuttlefish is one closed fist on top, and then little squid tentacles underneath.
And this is the sign for nitrogen narcosis.
I don't think it is. Though.
It literally is.
Is
that
it?
is. Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, I didn't realize I had narcosis until after I was so angry and so moody, and I was like, "Fuck, what's wrong with me?" And I was like, "Oh yeah,
Well done.
I didn't take my rest stop halfway up."
How
So carry on.
How are you?
how far do the tracks go from the boat? Do they go just indefinitely into the ocean?
Into the
or-
boat. Only
into
sort of
the
like
boat.
3 or 4 meters. It's like something that was like landed in the silt and then moved into the boat.
Oh, okay.
When Yervith did that signal to Boldor, Boldor would have sort of looked at him, thought for a second, then like started reaching slowly for his axe and been like, question.
And then I kind of just like point in the direction of the.
Yervith
of
goes to
where
pull
the
out his
tracks
bow
go.
and then goes,
Oh,
shit.
wait a second. Yeah. No, I
Takes
don't
out-
pull out the bow. I probably pull out one of my sword, like my short sword, and I just point like.
Is this your
towards
mosaic
the-
sword?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so Boulder and Kay Cee, as Yervith pulls out his sword, it looks like it's made out of interlocking pieces of stained glass.
Yeah.
Neat. Does it reflect? Reflect,
Yeah,
sorry?
it does.
Ooh,
Yeah,
it
reflects
looks very
reflects
pretty.
and refracts light. It's
With
used
the,
with
what I
all
was
different
trying to
reflection of the
colors.
light, yeah, well, with the reflection of the light through the water at the moment, it would probably look quite cool.
Yeah, actually, there'd be a shadow underneath it of multicolored lights underneath the sword, wherever the
Ooh.
sword is. Yeah.
That would have
Yeah,
taken Boldor.
yeah, I sort of.
Interesting.
Oh, pretty lights.
Yeah.
Shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just point to that entry point where the drag lines have
Well,
gone.
it's literally like a treasure on a sunken pirate wreck.
All right.
And
Well,
Jin,
he
Jin does
turns-
swab the deck. No, Karen.
He then grabs a great axe and then has it out and then turns in the direction that you pointed to and is holding it that way.
Amazing. And then I sort of swim stealthily towards the entry point. as
Make
best
me
as I can.
make me a stealth check, and can you describe for me in a bit more detail how one swims stealthily?
That's a very good point.
I mean, you're at a
don't-
massive advantage here. I don't want to point out how you could swim, because I can think of 2 ways you could swim ultra stealthily, but I don't want to say it. I want to hear what you come up with.
Oh man.
You specifically, more than anyone else.
Oh, me specifically. I don't know.
Yeah. If only
I mean,
he
I get-
had a chameleon cloak that could
I was
counter
gonna say
shade
the cloak would probably help a lot in making me look pretty invisible.
Just get down close to the seafloor and swim
yeah.
right along the bottom. You'd be almost invisible.
Yeah, I guess yeah. I'd probably almost go prone to the ocean and
Yeah.
let the cloak kind of float behind me. And then
Crabs
kind
immediately scuttle away, making room for
Yeah.
you as you begin swimming along the bottom of the water. Do you make me a stealth check?
Ooh.
Let's see this. I'm excited.
While this is happening, by the way, Owen, I'm
Yes.
going to quickly do a spell.
Oh,
Just while I remember, I'm going to cast Aid before we have
Okay.
any combats.
so everyone
Um,
gets, I think it's
Just a second
10
level.
temporary
It's
hit
only
points.
3
Oh, 3.
creatures, and each target's hit point maximum. Actually, I can just show it.
Yeah,
Oh,
check
wait.
it up.
Sorry, display.
increases by 5 for the duration, but it's a second level that you're. Oh no, it is second level already. Yeah, sorry.
But it's
So
a hit
who-
point maximum.
Yeah. Who are you giving? the hit
I'm
point
gonna
max
target. I'll target Boulder because I feel like he's gonna be up close.
Yep. So
I'll
Boulder, your
target Kay
hit
Cee
point
because
max
he could
increased
be
by 5.
potentially up close as well.
Yep.
And Yervith, I'll do Yervith because he's gonna probably be up close because he's bow
Yeah.
weapon nothing.
And also, I mean,
So-
you're sexist, so you've got to pick the 3 male characters as well. Really important.
Hold on there. Kay Cee is
He's genderless. You've got me. You've got me. DM wrong.
Wow.
Just the 3 male players.
Wow.
I
Whoa.
thought this was an inclusive group.
Yeah.
My apologies.
I sold you.
Hey.
I sold you on something wrong, apparently.
But no, I
Yeah.
will give it to those 3 because me and Shana can just sit
Yeah,
back.
you guys don't
and
want to
just
be
cast
up
spells
front.
and shit.
Yeah, as a sorcerer
And
and a
we're both-
warlock, if you're
and
in
we're both-
you're in
yeah.
melee, you're not doing well.
Or even then, like we both can just like smack people with like the what's the blooming blade or whatever. So
I
it's
do
not too
love
bad.
blooming blade. Blooming blade is one of
Sorry, my
favorites.
bad. I
As you
fucked it
summon
up.
flowers from the.
That would be a good idea though. But yeah,
that'd be a
so-
good one for the ring of Grammatica. That ring that you can change one letter in a spell to change the spell's effects.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Boulder, Kay Cee, and Yervith will have their hit point maximum increased by 5,
Yeah.
Amazing.
and then
Very
it's
nice.
8 hours.
Oh wow.
Does it have a
Ooh.
verbal component? That spell? Yes, it does.
Okay. I'm going to go to Shana and point to my mouth and then say, "Can you shape water my mouth for a sec?" So it creates an air bubble under the. Can that happen?
Yes, you
And I
can.
do the spell
Yes,
quick?
that's fine.
So-
Yeah.
So before that, Casey will see that little message and go, "Wait one moment," and we'll turn around and make sure and gather everyone together to be within 30 feet
Uh-huh.
and cast Rari's telepathic bond.
Hey, okay, nice.
That
Very
sounds
nice.
good.
That's very handy.
Oh,
If you
that's a
forge-
5th level.
Uh,
Damn.
so
Damn.
Wow.
just have a quick question, Owen.
Yes.
What interpretation are we using for underwater spell casting? That if you can breathe, you can you can cast spells because as long as it's coming out of the larynx, it's technically the spell, but it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be, interpretable.
So-
or are we doing the no spell verbal components underwater?
No, so I'm not a complete asshole. I'm not taking away verbal components of spells. If you can use shape water, or if you can have like an air bubble that you can speak into, because the way that the verbal components matter is you have to be able to shape the magic with certain sounds and certain frequencies, which are very hard to replicate underwater. What I will have you guys do, if you want to cast spells underwater with a verbal component, we can actually roll a percentile dice to see how well you can do getting those spells off. Or if you can find a way to give yourself some way to speak in, because it just has to be some. So the spell, the way I understand the verbal components of a spell is that there is an auditory component, a sound wave component that helps affect and guide the magic of the spell, guides the magic of the weave for D&D. So like how bards do music to create magic, it's very, very similar. So as long as you can still replicate those sounds, then you're sweet to go for verbal spells. It's just much trickier underwater. But if you can use, so for example, if Jin wanted to cast a verbal spell, if you did shape water to create a little pop bubble of air around him, that's completely fine. Yeah, and then just move the bubble back to yourself. Problem solved.
That's good for now. That's definitely good for now.
Sweet.
Yeah.
In the midst of combat, though, it might be a bit harder.
Shana, what you could also do, because I am a very nice DM, if you wanted to create little ice masks.
Because I can have up to 2 instances of that at the same time.
Yes, you could.
So if we've got two spellcasters down here, we could potentially.
Oh, that's a good idea because
Mm.
Boulder and Yervith has some spells, but half casters. So.
But not Thorn Whip, unfortunately.
I wish. That might happen. We'll see.
It might happen one day. I do
So
want to
that'd be
grant it to you
cool.
as like a boon from a god. It's like, Yervith, you have served me faithfully. You may have Thorn Whip.
Yay!
Cool.
That's sorry for Tom
could
and
be really
Jacob.
good.
That's an odd joke because he can cast some pretty advanced spells like rope trick, like some pretty high level spells. But then he can't do like cantrips like Thorn Whip or things like that. We just found it really
Yeah.
funny in the moment, the thematic of it, like the
Yeah,
ridiculousness
like
of
those
those.
trays, like
Yeah.
absorb
Yes, I can
elements.
create a pocket dimension with a rope that I can crawl into, but for some reason I can't make
Yeah.
a whip out of vines. It's too hard for
we-
me. It's beyond my
Can we-
prowess.
Yeah.
Can we flavor his rope trick as a vine?
Yes, it
actually,
is.
in
Yeah,
the-
It totally
it's
is.
canon.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
even more funnier now that he
Yeah.
can't.
I think
because-
he described it as a vine the first time anyway. So
Yeah.
that's canon.
Well, I mean,
Which is even
I
better.
described it as like any sort of like object that I would find in the environment. I would just like find a vine in the tree and be like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like doesn't have to be a rope. Anything.
But yeah, you guys can all now communicate telepathically with Rary's telepathic bond being dropped by Kay Cee. You have an hour of telepathy where you can talk to each other.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. You have communication over any distance.
Yeah.
Well, we have an hour left on this water breathing, so shall we?
I'm going to stealth back to where I was. Boulder, squid in there, just so we're clear. Oh, and everyone else. Everyone else, probably a squid in the shipwreck. Just saying.
Understood.
Yeah, Roger.
Holy shit.
I'll stealth back to that entry point.
Yeah.
Sort of scuttle along the floor,
Yeah.
the seafloor, and I will.
We'll use your previous investigation and perception check as you come up, because not enough time's passed to make you roll another one.
Sure.
Can I quickly then? Are you using his nature check?
His perception.
Oh, okay. So that's 19. So that's good. Wait, what was his perception actually?
Nature was a 10, I think, from memory, or 11.
Yeah, it's 10 to identify the tracks, but it was a much higher for the perception.
So is the nature actually still playing any effect, Owen?
The nature's more for him to try and understand and interpret the signs that he's seeing to sort of figure out what creature it could be.
I know this is a bit late, but because you're still using it as a passive check now for him on that 10, can I Bardic Inspiration just to bump that up for him?
If you can describe how you're bardically inspiring him, yes.
Underwater.
Bubble art.
I can speak to him.
Damn it.
Telepathy. So I sort of go. I saw you before. You were looking through, and you looked a bit puzzled. You were having a bit of trouble actually identifying the tracks. I have a few ideas that could help.
Oh yes.
And I
Have
guess
you tried looking harder?
Have you tried using your eyes?
We tried not being shit.
Yeah.
I sort of give him like some like mind like some like techniques to like focus on things like remember when you were in the jungle and like you visualized and like
Yeah, but the
focused on, like,
flashbacks, the
tracks.
NAM flashbacks come hard and
no.
fast. It's like, think back to the jungle. You're like, I'd rather
But
not.
basically
They're in the
just give
vault
him
for a
mindful-
reason.
I'm giving him like mindful techniques to like push all like like when you were there in the jungle you pushed all distractions out of your mind and you focus entirely on the thing at hand. Push all these extenuating factors out of your mind now. Like we're not underwater right now. Just picture yourself in like it's just you and what you're looking at and focusing on. Everything else, push it out of your mind. Focus as hard as you can. And I just give him like mindful techniques, to like mind techniques to like sort of help him sort of zero in on things and like because there's a lot of like distractions under the like there's water, there's like sharks, there's other like crustaceans and stuff. Like I'm just basically like
go ahead and roll D8
that's
for me.
my idea.
No, I like it. I think that makes a lot of sense. I will absolutely allow a bardic inspiration to be done for that. 5. That takes it up to a 15. Yervith, as you get closer and Jin starts sort of talking to you, at first you find his voice a bit distracting, but you do sort of like relax into it, and it does become calming and focusing, almost a little bit meditative as he talks you through. And it's like to focus on the sound of the ice drifting above, the feel of the water against your skin. You do sort of like move into the idea of the calm state. And as you are sort of getting a bit closer, you begin to realize this is very similar to a snake track. Maybe some sort of eel. Some sort of massive eel. And as you sort of come back over the side and look into the darkness of the ship, coiled around a skeletonized remain of a humanoid, is a massive white moray eel. Easily 14, 15 feet long with a massive set of jaws just breathing in water. This mouth sort of constantly open, sucking in water and pushing it through the gills. Red eyes sort of looking around as it scours the darkness.
Like an albino.
What was that, sorry?
It's like albino.
Yes, it is. It's albino. It's a pure white. And as you sort of look over the edge very stealthily, it flicks its tail, and the head of this humanoid, this skeleton head, is crushed in the muscular body of the creature. And as it flicks its tail back around again, bone dust and fragments of bone filter down and flick off, and settle to the bottom, and you can see a fine carpet of bone dust along the deck of the
I
ship.
like not even moving a muscle, just telepathically relay this to everyone. I'm like, big eel in ship, come quick.
But I might be able to help here.
Like quick.
If any,
They're gonna animal friendship. It's a fucking huge.
no. She's swimming up, and she has
Eels,
some
no
image
snakes.
prepared, and she's
What
going
was that?
to do. She has some silent image prepared. She's going to do a 15-foot shark, and she's going to silent image it pretty much on top of the moray eel, and hope it scares it away.
Oh my god.
So you're gonna have to swim right up to the deck of the ship to cast this inside. because it's hidden.
60 feet. 60
No,
feet.
but you need to be able to see, right? Silent image is
yeah.
sight. Yes. So you can see a spot within
And,
range.
and
that
it
you
won't
can
really
see.
move or
Yeah.
anything.
No,
That's
it's just a spot within
Image
range.
appears at
It's
a spot
not
within
that you
range and
can
lasts for the
see.
duration. To any spot within range. Yeah, okay, so you can try and cast it, because Yervith is sort of describing where this thing is. You're going to try and cast it inside the ship?
Yeah, like
Cool.
near,
Yeah,
like close enough to the eel that it feels threatened, and it's going to
Yeah.
try and leave. And
Can I get you to
ignore
make me
Yervith.
an intimidation check, please?
I'm at this point.
Intimidation.
I'm going to move, so I'm like against the side of the entry. I'm not in the doorway anymore. I'm now
Yeah.
on the side.
to 14.
Yeah. Shana, as far as you know, this goes off without a hitch. The giant eel barrels out, pushing through sections of wood, ripping it apart as it moves out of the ship. And as it starts swimming out of the ship, it spots you all in the water, because Kay Cee, Boldor, Shana, and Jin, you're all just chilling in the water. Yervith, you're hiding up against the
Yeah.
ship. And it immediately starts charging towards you. Can I please have initiatives as you just literally go, hey,
Yeah.
big eel, we're over here.
Hello.
I was hoping it would run away.
That was silly,
It
wasn't
was.
it?
It ran
It was.
to
Yeah.
us.
It was
So
running
make sure
away.
when you roll initiative, click on your token and then click initiative in
I've
D&D
done
Beyond.
Oh,
And
I can't click on my token.
Oh,
It might not. He just mustn't be owning it at the moment.
that's right.
Yeah, I know.
Let me double check. You should own your token. No, you don't own your token.
I forgot to click. Sorry.
No,
We can just add you guys in.
I can. That's easy enough to do. There you go. You should have control of your token now. Sorry, man.
No, that's all right.
Mine did show up on the turn order and then it disappeared.
All right, that's okay. So Yervith, what was your initiative?
I'm rolling it now.
Perfect. 9.
Oh, my
mate.
god, that's a nat 1.
Sorry, buddy.
I
Shana,
have
what
a
was
plus
yours?
8 to initiative.
13.
13. Boulder?
21.
51. Wow, that's amazing. What was it actually?
Yeah. 21.
Wow.
21. Nice. For some reason, it's rolled that as 2d20 plus 1.
Huh.
So it's given you 9. No, but that's really weird. It's rolled it with
It's credit.
advantage. Yeah, but it's rolled it with
So-
advantage as well.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
so that is the.
Oh, sorry, that's
one
your-
of the feats of a.
Yeah, that's your. Sorry, you are correct. That is actually your one of your
Oh,
features.
you get advantage on initiative?
Yeah,
That's cool.
feral instinct is a feat.
Yeah.
Nice one.
And Kay Cee, you were 18, correct?
Correct.
Okay, fantastic. All righty. The only one we're missing is the eels, which I will add now.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It needs to be there.
Oh,
This goes up and you-
initiative of 0. That works really well. Oh,
What was that?
fuck.
Sorry. Oh no, sorry. I hadn't rolled it. I just added the turn. Okay, so let's put on some battle music, and we're going to have a little bit of a fight, aren't we? Let's go this one here. So as this eel barrels out, Jin, you are the first to react as you see this massive white moray eel push its way out of the ship and begin swimming towards you, mouth agape, teeth jagged and sharp, bits of ice and flakes of white scales peeling off its back as it swims towards you.
Huh. Cool. I have a mask on, the ice mask.
Yes.
I'm not gonna do any big spells. I want these guys to flex their muscles a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do a bit more, because normally I would just chuck out some spell that potentially just ends the fight.
Yep.
Let's just go with. Wait, so how close is it?
At this point, it's only about sort of 5-6 meters away from you, swimming rapidly towards you.
Oh, that could end the fight. 2 actually if I use that. I'm not going to use my Dark Strike because that could just scare it away. All right, I'm going to use a bonus action, and I'm going to hex it. I'll just hex it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The target will have disadvantage on. Let's go with strength checks. I think that makes good sense.
Yep.
For ability checks.
Yep.
Not
Exactly
saving
right.
throws.
No, just ability checks.
And then I'm going to.
Tell you what, why don't I put you guys on the map in the water here?
Yeah. Maybe like here, Owen, actually, like in these pools.
I need
There's
those for
actually
later.
water. Ah, okay. No, you should-
I'll bring you down
bodes well.
here to the bottom. I need them for later. Yervith's over here. I'll just chuck an eel down and I'll bring that across. Yeah, sorry. So anything else on your turn?
Yeah, I'm going to look. It's coming right at us. It's coming right for us. I'm going to Eldritch Blast it in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll to attack.
All right. Does a 16 hit?
16 just hits. Roll me damage.
Nice. So that's 7 force damage and 3, I think, necrotic.
Yep, I'll mark that off right now.
Yep,
Total of
necrotic.
10. Beautiful.
And let's do another beam because I get 2.
Pew, pew.
23 hits for 8 force damage
Definitely hits.
and 5 necrotic.
5 necrotic. Yeah, you watch as your force damage, as these eldritch blasts push through the water, displacing the water and leaving these rings of sort of moving ice. It crashes into the side of this pale white moray, cracking across the side, making deep score marks across its body. It looks like as you strike into it, this dark red-purple blood begins filling the sea around you.
So what's our movement under here?
What is your swimming speed? That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know what it is typically.
5e. If you've got the ability to, when climbing
What if-
or swimming, here we go, I've got this here.
Each foot of movement costs 1 extra foot.
Yeah, so you've got half movement underwater unless you have a swimming
So
speed.
yeah, half movement. No, that's fine. I'll just move over here, Nishana.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up is Boldor.
Okie dokie. So I'm trying to figure out how far away. It looks like I am 20 feet away. Hey.
Yep, you are.
Okay. Well, I have got very conveniently 40 feet of speed. So move on my
20
movement.
feet
Can I
movement.
just head on up towards it.
Yeah.
Throw my bonus action for a rage.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
eyes just boils. It doesn't quite cause vape or anything, but I am boiling in rage.
So
and
Boulder,
whips
as you
out
go
great
into a
axe.
rage, your tattoos begin glowing ever so slightly. You watch as his tattoos begin letting off this sort of red glow. And the sea around them, heat waves begin to come off them.
So yeah, boiling in rage.
As you are an angry boy.
As I get close to the eel, I sort of glance around to see if I'm the center of attention of the snake and try and position myself between everyone.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then have a big old swing.
Yeah, so you guys watch as this eel begins swimming towards you. Boldor just begins immediately swimming, pulls out his axe, goes underwater, and then charges it with this axe as his tattoos begin glowing and heating up the sea around him. 11 Boldor's not
I
quite enough,
choose to
sorry.
dig up the ground instead, to just vertical swipe, hole
Yep.
in the ground.
Yep.
And then twist it, multi-attack, and has another crack.
Yeah, go for it. 27 hits though.
Ooh,
Do
that's better.
you want to
Very
roll
good.
me some damage?
Huge hit there.
Please. Wow.
Yeah, 12 slashing damage. Yeah, as you carve
And
through
then
the head.
plus
Yep.
rage as well, plus 3.
Yes, +3 for rage. Fantastic.
Yes.
As you carve through, this dark purple blood fills the area around the eel. Could I get you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please, Boldor?
Certainly.
10. That's not what I want you to roll, buddy.
Roll.
You're going to take 11 points of poison damage, which I believe is halved because of your bear totem.
Possibly, I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure poison is covered by the bear.
Yeah, everything except
Everything
psychic.
is.
Psychic is the only damage type that would be full damage.
I'm
Very good.
I'm almost 100% sure that you have half damage from everything. But if I'm wrong,
Alright.
correct me.
No, it is.
I
It
don't-
is. Everything is half damage except
Yeah,
psychic.
I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, I forgot that. I can grab your face, Tom, from here. Sorry, because the camera's not shutting off, so it looks like I can reach into your webcam. Sorry, I forgot to edit my camera down. I can like grab your face. Sorry, carry on. Sorry.
Well,
What a mature group of people we
I know.
are here.
I can see it on the
Yeah,
on the
that's-
screen.
when that happens, you sort of like gasp a little bit when the poison's having a go at him, and
Yeah.
that'll be the end of it. Is that 5 or 6 damage? Round up or down?
It rounds down, always.
Sweet.
Always.
That's it. That's all it is for Boldor.
Fantastic. The eel. The eel that is currently visible to you guys. Immediately, Boldor is going to try and bite you. Does a 17 hit?
Does.
Okay, 17 hits. I'll just roll some damagios.
I might.
Yeah.
For fun, I'm gonna
Cutting
cutting
words.
word that with a reaction.
Yeah. Roll me a d8. We'll
So-
take it off. Might not hit.
4 is taken off.
Does a 13 hit you, Boulder? I'm guessing not.
It does not hit.
Okay. Yeah, Jin, as you shout out these cutting words into your little ice mask that you've got to help you hear, it's not so much what you're saying, but the distraction of the noise. This strange, tinny, echoing noise under the ice that kind of draws the attention of the eel away. And as it goes to bite, at the last second, you're like, blah, 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 and it sort of turns and misses just by a tiny little bit. Yeah. And it misses just by a tiny little bit to striking into Boldor. It's going to go for a tail swipe as it swings its tail around at you, Boulder, as well.
sure.
No, I'm guessing a 15 doesn't hit you.
Meets it, beats it.
Oh, 15 does hit you. Okay, shit, okay. I need you to take 9 bludgeoning damage, halved down to 4. And could you please make me a dexterity saving throw to avoid being punted back through the water? Yeeted backwards by the tail strike.
Can do.
Oh no. Okay. Boulder, 5, 10,
Oh,
15
God.
feet. You are just swept back by the push of this tail as it strikes you. The eel is then going to use its movement to go 5, 10, 15, 20, so that it's now engaged with Shana Kay Cee as well as it swims towards the two of you guys.
Ooh.
Alrighty, that is the eel's go.
And
Kay
it
Cee,
makes a lot of sense too, because Yervith would be pretty hard to see in the ocean.
it hasn't seen Yervith. His stealth check I rolled, it has not seen him yet.
Hmm.
Kay Cee, you're up next, buddy.
Kay Cee's going to step that 10 feet to
Yep.
put themselves
Yeah, in the way.
that
Yeah,
line
yeah.
of fire, get that shield up, start swinging down with the arm just as the longsword extends out of the arm,
Nice.
slamming into the eel's head.
I believe it's time to make some sushi. As you swing your arms up. Yeah, roll me an attack. Let's see it.
Let me find where the buttons are. My apologies.
Today.
That
Yeah, that's
one. Did it roll? There we go.
14's not quite
14 to hit.
enough. As you swing down, it just glances
Oh,
off the
shit.
light scales.
Damn.
Okay. Well, I don't like that,
Sorry.
and I'm just going to be sad about it.
Okay, okay. Fair enough. Shana.
I think that's
It's your
that's
turn.
what we're going to do there.
Yeah,
Alright.
Shana, your turn.
So Shana would like to use a sorcery point to do the quickening spell, so that she can do a bonus a action as a bonus action.
Yes.
And she would like to first up cast Hex on the eel.
Okay, double hexing. What
Oh.
would you like to hex it? No. You can have hex on a target 2 different hexes. Would you like to hex
Stack it.
its dex? Strength has been hexed already.
Oh, I forgot that's also a thing.
Hey,
So
so
Hex
what,
has already been.
what are you? I've done my hex. What are you
Yeah.
trying to do though? You're
Oh,
quickening
I
hex.
just want the damage increase. The 1d6.
No, but like you don't have to quicken it though. It's just a.
She's doing something else after.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll see how
I'm
it
also
goes.
gonna cast my cantrips after this.
Hex is a bonus action anyway. If you're casting cantrips,
That's
you don't
what I
need
mean.
to
You can do both.
Wait, what?
You don't need to. You don't need to do this.
It takes me to make a session for. Holy
No. So hang on. Are you casting? So hex is a spell.
That's why I'm getting confused.
Are you casting 2 spells or hex plus a cantrip?
I want to do hex plus cantrip.
Well, then you don't need to quicken it. It's
You
still
don't
bonus
need to do
action.
this
You're good to
at
go.
all.
I did not realize that hex was a bonus action. That's what I get for not reading my spell list.
That's why I was
tell you,
so
buddy.
confused.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Because when
That's what I just did.
I was like, oh, maybe if you're casting like Touch of Death or something along with it. Sure, yeah. That makes sense.
A really good thing to use quickened. A really good thing to use quickened on is like Eldritch Blast to chuck out 2 Eldritch Blasts in 1 round. That's really good.
Actually, you technically can't do that because it's multiple. It's just the spell
It's
targets one
cantrips.
creature.
Yeah.
It's cantrips. You can spell. You can do that.
Can you? Are we ruling that you can double cantrip with Eldritch Blast? and
Quickened
Quicken?
cantrips. Let's find
I
out.
think you can.
It's a
I think
cantrip.
the
It's
one
not a
you
spell.
might be twinning. You can't because twinning you have to target 1.
Yes, you can use Quicken spell to cast cantrips.
Yeah, it's a cantrip. It's
Yes,
not
you
a,
can.
It's not a spell slot spell. You can't
Yes, you can.
do spell slot spells, but you can do 2 cantrips.
Rules as
If
written,
that's the
you
ca-
can.
Yeah. Alright, if that's the case, can I do some minor retconning instead of hex? Can I just do 2 sets of Eldritch Blast towards this
You can use
motherfucker?
spend your sorcery points. Let's see 4 beams of Eldritch Blast fly into this thing.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's gonna be
1,
bad. 14
2,
misses, 18 hits, 11 force damage.
3.
Hang on.
That's a crit.
Ooh, that's a crit.
Oh, it's a crit.
Wow.
24, 12. Okay. So that's our first crit for Tom and Jacob. So the way we do criticals, I do the better criticals optional rule, where rather than doubling your dice roll, you get a full roll of the dice that would be used. So basically, if you're rolling a d6, you get a 6 plus a dice roll. So it makes the criticals much more. Because if you roll like a 1 on a critical, you're just like, well, what the fuck was the point of that?
It just sucks.
So it always
Very
makes your
sad.
criticals feel more weighty. However, it does mean that the monsters get this same ability because it's fair across the board. So you guys don't get better criticals and they don't. Everyone gets better criticals. So let's do the crits. So Shana,
Love
so
it.
that's a 28. So that's going to be a d10 plus 6 plus 4. So that's 20 total. Wow, Shana, as these 4 beams of eldritch energy strike at this thing, 2 on the flank as it rears its head up, 2 more under the chin. The blood fills this area. Who is within range? Currently, Kay Cee, Shana. Oh, Yervith! No, you're just in range. Kay Cee, Shana, and Yervith. Could I have you roll me Constitution saving throws, please? Sorry, Yervith.
Is this for poisoning?
You got dragged into this.
Owen? Is this for poisoning?
It's for a poison, so you are not
In
affected.
which case, I do not roll.
And I have advantage
Immunity.
against being poisoned.
Chat's helping us out. The
Oh,
rule is
good roll.
1 leveled spell and a cantrip you cannot do to 2 level spells, but cantrips have a
Yeah.
level. Yeah, exactly right.
That was my thought too.
Thanks, Chad.
Oh,
Thank you,
19
Kat.
KC, very nice. And Yervith, 19, you both pass. So you take half damage on this. 3 poison damage. You guys are sweet as.
Oh, easy.
That's all right. I've already halved it for you. It's not half to 1. Very, very nicely done. Shana, anything else on your turn?
No, I can't do anything else. I don't think
Fantastic.
so.
Next up in the initiative order is our good friend, Yervith.
Yeah, so Yervith is going to draw his mosaic sword and then dash out from his hiding spot, and he's going to try and get to the tail of this eel. I
Yes.
would say, yeah. Am I within range if I just move 5 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. And I will go for some attacks.
I love it. Make an attack. I really hope you miss so that we can get 12.
Well,
would
that's
you
a
like
miss.
to activate? Would you like to activate the effect of the mosaic short?
I would love
the
to.
mosaic
Yep.
short sword. Okay.
I will do that.
So for Kay Cee and Boldor, you watch as Yervith pulls out this stained glass sword and swings at the eel and misses. The mosaic patterns split and come off the swords. The sword shatters into the individual pieces of glass. I need to make a dexterity saving throw, I believe, for the eel, don't I?
Yeah.
I will quickly do that. Sorry, bear with me. Okay.
Is it also the disadvantage on dex, was it? From gyms? Or is it just
only
I
only
have-
for
I have
ability
strength.
checks and for strength.
Oh,
So
lame.
unfortunately not. Hey, look,
Not saving throws.
don't look at me.
It's
It's
only
not-
ability checks, not saving
Yeah.
throws.
I had a
Okay.
dream.
4d4. Could you please roll me 4d4 damage, Yervith?
I'll just roll it as like a cloud of daggers attack.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Just do it as cloud of daggers. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, basically. 10 slashing. Yeah, it takes the full effect. Yeah, it takes the damage. That's it. I'll just write that down.
Amazing.
As the mosaic pattern shatters into pieces and begins striking this creature before reforming back into the blade.
Do another attack.
Yes.
Nice. This one will
19
hit.
hits. Yeah.
So I'll do the damage for this one.
Yep.
Nice.
You do have sneak attack.
I do indeed. And I'll do it in it.
Alrighty. This could be bad.
And I'll do my third attack with my Dread Ambusher.
Yep. 16 is yep, that hits. Oh fuck, you might be able to do this. Could be disappointing.
Here we go.
So the sneak
this is
doesn't
7.
apply.
Is that 13 total?
Yeah.
Oh no, the sneak doesn't
No,
apply.
7.
Just
I have
7.
to roll my 1d8 as well.
Oh, for Dread Ambusher,
Yes.
yeah. Oh shit, you might be able to do this. This might be it. Oh fuck, that's it! You watch as the
Nice.
final slice goes through. Yervith cuts through the blade, slicing up underneath the belly. This cloud of shattered glass mosaic that comes off his sword that sort of flies through and deals that damage, cuts across it, revealing its sort of very tender, unprotected underbelly. As the eel spins to confront this new threat, Yervith, you just swing your sword 2 more times, slicing through before stabbing directly in, deep into its stomach. The creature sort of curls up around your blade before falling limp to the ocean floor, the purple blood leaking out into the area. But because you and Shana both passed, you're immune to the effects of this for the moment. So the purple poisonous blood has no effect on you. Yeah.
Can I use shape water to try and contain it away from the others?
Yeah, I was just going to say if I had a glass.
It's actually naturally not spreading out too much. It's kind of the cold water and the hot blood is kind of naturally pushing it up rather than out.
Sweet.
Because the warm blood would rise rather than spread out along the cold water.
Yeah.
You guys are out of initiative. That's definitely initiative out, and the ship is yours to explore. But rather than diving deep into the ship, get it? This session, we are actually going to leave it for Christmas. And we will be back. We will be back after Christmas. Boo, indeed. We will be back after Christmas too.
We're not doing a Christmas beach episode next week.
We're not doing a Christmas beach party next week. Apologies, but I will be doing some more streaming. I'll be doing some streaming tomorrow night and Friday night. Possibly doing some VR streaming, and I'm also still trying to recruit some other people to come and join me for some lots of fun like Valheim. Maybe a little bit of some spoopy games. Maybe do a bit of Sea of Thieves. Do some what's the one that we love? The ghost one. Phasmophobia. Maybe do some Phasmophobia. Yeah, we'll see what I do. And I'm gonna do some VR Skyrim until midnight on Friday. I'm gonna do a midnight stream, so enjoy. Wreck myself in time for the weekend.
Great.
But from all of us here at the Lost Archives, thank you so much for an awesome 2021. That is our last D&D session for the year. What a year it's been. We've had new players come and join us. We've had, I think, how many episodes have we had come out this year? We're up to 59 episodes total, so we've probably done about 35 of those this year alone, which is just nuts. So thank you so much, everybody, for being with us along this journey. The podcast has been ticking along really nicely, so for podcast listeners, thank you so much. We hope you all have a really safe, really wonderful Christmas. I hope you have the well-deserved breaks that all of you need, and we will be back fighting fit and fresh for the new year in the second week of January with Boldor and Kay Cee rejoining us so that they can come back and show off their incredibly cool characters. But that's it from me. Thank you so much, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow and Friday night for some variety gaming streams. But from the Lost Archives D&D Tyranny of Dragons cast, stay safe, stay well. We will see you all again next time. Farewell, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye. And thank you so much to our guest characters, Tom and Jacob, for joining us with some awesome characters.
Heck yeah!
Thank you so much,
That was
guys.
awesome. Thank you.
Cannot wait to get your characters back next session. All right, everybody. We better go.
See you
Farewell.
later.
Mwah.